Oof.
Yep.
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 Yep. Yep.
Oh no!
Goodness.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh no!
Goodness.
Got it. Alright, well, since everybody but me's rolled something.
Oh, buddy.
Damn, that shit does sound spooky. Oh, it's a gun. I thought that emote was a dude. That was like a Minecraft dude bending over. That's why I couldn't understand what it was. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we're good.
Cybernation Uncensored.
Hello, hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between. Welcome back to Cybernation Uncensored. This is Fallout Asia. Very, very happy to be back here with all of you again. I'm going to fix up our chat because I recently got an update, so give me 1 second. Square that up. Zoom that down. There we go. And now I can move that down and move that up so we can see more of the chat. Yay! All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our session 1 for Fallout Asia. Very, very happy to have all of you here in chat and, of course, all of our players here. With our last session, if you were able to tune in with session 0, you've probably seen us talking about the supplement and how all of our world here works. It's been quite a process trying to get everything set up, but I am very, very happy to say that it has all gone exceptionally smoothly. I'm going to be posting up links to everybody's stuff and all of the extra little things that I've been working on, and we'll get those in chat in just a moment. But I want to introduce our players first. So let's start this off. Mark, go for it.
Captain Mark 87 on the Discord here. Just Mark, some of my friends. You can find me here Fridays for this, Saturdays for Capricious' Cyberpunk, the Nomad game here as well. And over on twitch.tv/heroes in theory on Sundays for D&D. And audio podcast is coming around Christmas time. We will be playing Delta Green and editing spooky music in it and making it more like a radio drama than a sort of play along kind of thing. That's the intention anyway. But yeah, excited to play today. My first ever game of 2D20 as a player. So as Capricious will sympathise, I generally am the eternal GM among my friend group, so it's nice to play.
Well, you've got a chance to play on here. You also get you're also on the Cyberpunk Goes Nomad stream too, so you've got a little break from the Forever GM. So
It's nice.
yes. All right, next up, Raven, go for it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close my wardrobe back here. Go ahead, Raven.
I'm Raven. That's it. You can catch me here on Fallout Asia and Saturdays for for Cyberpunk or Cyber Nation Uncensored goes Nomad. It's every Saturday. I'm playing a mercenary survivor. About it.
Yep. Thank you. Johnny.
Yeah, hi. You can find me as Johnny Drop over on the Discord, and you can find me here every Friday and Saturday night for Capricious's games. And if you feel like it, you can go ahead and check out my SoundCloud at Arxon.
Awesome. Thank you. And Logar, go for it.
Hey, I'm Logar the Yogar on Twitch, Discord, and Twitter. I am the GM of a live Starfinder campaign called Dead Sundays that we play on my channel every Sunday. And every once in a while on the weekdays, I'll stream there too, just to hang out.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, Tracy, go for it.
Hi, I'm Tracy. You can find me on Twitter and Discord as StinkPalm007. I'll be playing here every week. And I'll be playing Dr. Ho Jian Yu, a eccentric scientist.
Awesome. Thank you much. And ladies and gentlemen, I am GM Capricious Nature. I've got a buttload of links. I'm about to throw at all of you. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure that all of these are the correct URLs because, as many of you may have noticed, Cyberpunk Uncensored is now Cyber Nation Uncensored. So I got to make sure that none of these are broken. CyberNationUncensored.com. Perfect. All right, let me drop those in. I have reached character limit. Awesome. Too many links. There we go. I'll just ignore my name on there since it's already there. First and foremost, we are here with Cyber Nation Uncensored, thanks to the wonderful work of A1 Rob Mulligans. Thank you for getting all of this together. Check out cybernationuncensored.com for a bunch of supplements. Not only are mine there, but we've got tons and tons and tons of other creators that we are hosting up as well on anything from Fallout to Cyberpunk, and very soon some more Dune will be popping up on there as well. If you want to check out, I've got my Fallout Wasteland Reveals generator, which is what I've been working my butt off to get working. Fallout Wasteland Reveals generator is literally a GM tool to help any GM or even players with instantaneous dice rolls to literally create an immediate world that you can interact and work with. You should be able to see that pop up on my screen right now. The Wasteland Reveals. Oh, it's so tiny. Lame. Let me pop that over. There we go. So the Wasteland Reveals right here. You can see that we've got everything from weather, which is adapted from Rob Mulligan's supplement. Here you've got sandstorms, sunny hazes, even things like the heat waves, as well as heavy ashfall, and many, many others. I've got about 40 different weathers that you can interact with. We've got buildings with descriptions of how they look, what size they are, what purpose they serve, DVs, search times, location difficulties, everything you might need. You can search in different categories. So if I do a full roll here, you can see a large agricultural plot on that location. There's no chance for ammo, armor, or clothing, but you've got 0 to 10 chances, or 12 chances for food, beverages, other, and junk. And this will even give you the ability to roll on different tables. You can roll in new interiors, new exteriors, and get all of that set up. And then we've got the big piece, hazards, obstacles, and enemies, which our players are going to be dealing with right and left, trying to deal with the world around them, everything from collapsed ceilings to new enemy encounters like raiders. We've got hazards, we've got super mutants, everything is listed on there. And of course, the goods. This is the biggest piece of what I worked on, was trying to get every item in the entire manual listed out on here. And they're all with rolls that you can make for basic combat dice, full combat dice, including effects. And then you can reload different ammos, armors, clothing, food, beverages, chems, oddities. Gives you the rules as a GM for how to deal with junk, because I've got a junk worker here, Mr. Stinkpalm, also known on our stream as Gian Yu, who will be doing this a lot. We've got weapons, we've got different tables, you can reload everything on the tables, and then we've got both simple and Wild Wasteland encounters. And most recent addition on here was a wonderful encounter that was actually created by our very good friend ELH, who has been so gracious as to allow me to add in his wave of rad roaches, which you guys can run across at a later time. I've also built in different encounters by Mortagan, who is a wonderful, wonderful creator on the Fallout community out there, and I've listed up links to their different supplements. So that is a quick run through of this system. You can also find my other generators for Cyberpunk, all of my different Fallout generators, and the new one that I'm releasing today, I'm going to post that link, is called the Fallout Settlement Generator, and it is built off of Rainy Day Ninja. He created the base, and I built from there. You can deal with different settlement sizes, different wealth, different traits, civilian populations, structures, wealth, economy, everything you need as a GM. So I'm going to post up that link right now for everybody who is waiting eagerly in chat, because I promised to drop that in. And now I'm going to shut my face. I'm going to minimize my little interface there. And I'm just going to tell you guys about who is providing our wonderful music today. We're going to be listening to Base Ape Records, as well as 1,000 Reasons. And you guys can check out all my other stuff on Linktree. So, all of that being said, let's move into our game. What we didn't get to with our last session for session 0 was explaining what's going on for our players themselves. So who are they, where are they, and what are they dealing with? Well, let's give a quick introduction to who are they, and then I'll tell everybody a little bit about where they are. So let's start from the bottom. Jianyu, go ahead and start us off.
So I'm Dr. Ho Jian Yu. I am a eccentric scientist and junk trader. Using the term trader loosely, as I have very little charisma and no barter ability. But I like to collect things, build things, and yeah, that's largely what I do. I fix things, collect things, build things, and just kind of showed up at our settlement about 5 years ago, and have been hanging out there ever since.
Yes, as Rob has just stated very aptly in our chat, he's our mad scientist. Val, go for it.
It's eccentric scientist.
Eccentric
I mean,
scientist, yes.
you know,
In person.
I'm not angry.
I will be playing Val Jacobs. Val Jacobs is an American that was raised in the Taiwanese wasteland after the bombs fell after the Great War. Val has a very learned cowboy aesthetic that he picked up from all of the movies that he watched when he was hiding out in bunkers. He is good with a rifle, better with a tool, and is always down to help as long as you have the money to pay for it.
Awesome. Minsky, our robot friend, go ahead.
Yeah, I will be playing Minsky, your American model nurse handybot, who got stranded in Asia shortly before the drums. Pardon me, before the bombs dropped. I've been a member of the settlement for most of my time in Asia, kind of just functioning as a healer and a sort of a small job, sort of bot that just helps out because he likes to.
Alrighty, thank you. Camacho.
I'll be playing Camacho. Camacho is the daughter of a cartel, say, smuggler. She's a survivalist and mercenary. She grew up in the village shortly after she was brought here as a child. Shortly before before the Great War, as the bombs were getting ready to drop. She's a keeper of secrets of types. Loan shark, kind of gangster type, would-be boss someday, trying to live up to daddy's example.
Perfect. All right, and go for it, Sean.
I'll be playing Sean Dalton. He's been living on the outskirts of the town for about 5 years now. Kills people for caps and sometimes for reasons of his own. And I'll leave it there.
Perfect. So these are our 5 main settlers for what is literally the remnants left over behind in an area called Sun Moon Lake, Taiwan. This is in the central mountain ranges of Taiwan, an extremely beautiful area that is filled to the brim with trees and foliage and life every single step you take. It was once a resort town that offered skyscrapers filled to the brim with tons and tons of hotels, theme parks, restaurants. They had their own pools next to the lake for those that wanted to be ultra wealthy and ultra rich and show it off. There used to be tons and tons of robots as well in the area helping folks out, and all of that changed. In 2077, we have the bombs dropping. And as the Great War came to a head in not only the United States, but of course all across Asia, most people died. The majority of population in Taiwan being centered around these huge metropolitan cities were of course targets. And so lots of the population got wiped out. But luckily there were still pockets of survivors, just like the Americas, that were able to make it in areas like Sun Moon Lake. Centered around what used to be a water reservoir and is now virtually bone dry, our 5 different settlers are there in a settlement filled with about 100 other people total. It's a decent sized settlement that has the ability to get access to traders, the ability to get access to homes, food for a little bit more expense, and water for an even higher expense. Quite often, people will struggle to get anything resembling clean water. Now, if any of you are interested in learning more about our setting, you can check out our Session 0 or our Fallout supplement that's been released, and you can learn about all the different foods and issues, drinks, and tables that are on there. Now, before we jump into here and we give our little opening, hello, Vampire Bites. Glad to have you here. He is one of our players from our Cyberpunk Nomad game. But for our Cyberpunk Nomad game being separate from our Fallout, what's going on here in our settlement? It's been approximately-ish about 40 years where they've been living hand to mouth, just trying to survive, and in general, they've all made it. They've all survived this long. We've got our foreigners, we've got our locals, we've got Taiwanese, Americans, British, Colombian, everybody from every corner of the world is here. But at the same time, only a few of them are actually able to succeed in living in this wasteland. And so we're going to be opening up with our trader, Jianyu, coming into this small settlement. He has a wonderful little Brahmin with him that he is affectionately named Dynamo, and we have that there, yes. We have his wonderful little Brahmin carrying around the junk with him, and we need to find out what junk and what equipment does your Brahmin have. And so we wanted to delay this for our startup on here, so let's please jump into that. Go ahead and give me your rolls for your starting equipment.
All right. Do you want me to use the per chance you have?
You can, well, let's see, we've got trader loadout, correct?
Yes.
All right, so on here, let's pull up our trader loadout and find out exactly what goes into this. 1 second.
I should have 3 rolls of junk. I have 3 rolls of ammo. It says 3 of aid, which
Yep.
I was interpreting as 1 beverage, 1 food, 1 chem. I could be convinced otherwise, but
Yeah, so let's jump on to that generator really quick. I'm gonna pull that up on my screen and let's get your rolls in. So let's go into the modified one that I've put together. This one is Fallout, the Wasteland Reveals. And which one do you want to go on first? Which one do you want to see first?
well, let's knock out the ammo.
All right, so what ammunition do you have? Let's check that out. The first ammunition you have is a set of 8 10mm rounds.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready for the
10mm.
next.
All right, 8 10mm.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Second one you have is 5 10mm.
All right, so 13 10mm.
And third, you have 7 38 rounds.
All right. And 738. And then my basic loadout should have 8 38 plus 4 combat dice. Do you want me to roll those in roll 20, the 4 combat dice?
Yep, go for it.
All right. Ooh, that wasn't good. All right, guess one.
Yep.
Oh,
One.
no.
All right.
All right, let's jump on to our aid. So for aid, I'm actually going to give you a choice here. Do you want to go for chems? Do you want to go for beverages? Or do you want to go for food?
So I was thinking one of each because
Okay.
it has 3 rolls, right?
Yep. All right, let's start this off with food. For our food here, let's jump in. You have 1 tarberry.
right. Tarberry times 1. All right.
For your drink, you've got 1 bottle of rum.
Ooh, nice.
Popular man here in town. And
Cool.
for our chem, you've got a dose of overdrive.
Nice. That stuff is mean. It
Yeah,
gives you a
that
bunch of
sounds-
extra extra damage and stuff for like a whole scene.
It's like Psycho, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and our last
All
one
right.
is the junk. So, let's see how many junk you're going to get. So you've got 3 rolls on there. So your first one, you get 1 junk, 1 common.
All right.
Second one, you're going to get another 2. And third, you're going to get another 1. So a grand total of 4 common junk.
All right. 4 common. So you're treating those as like common parts already, as in they don't need to be scrapped.
Yeah, so these for you are just going to be 4 common materials. I'm going to let you start out with that because this is your starting loadout. I'm going to say you used your time to try and go through the junk and get those.
All right. And if it's okay with you, it takes 2 common materials to make a cooking station. I'd like to just set 2 of those aside and call them a cooking station on my character.
That sounds good.
All right.
All right, now we've got all of that taken care of, folks. I'm going to pop us back over to our chat on our OBS. And
I need to roll for my. I need to roll for a trinket.
Trinket.
I think I have to do that in the book.
Yeah, that's going to be in the book. Go ahead and give me a 1d20, and I'll let you know what it is. By the way, do the rest of you have your trinkets?
12.
Yes.
Yep, it's all done.
Awesome. So you got a 12. So for you, you have, and this works perfectly for your character, an ID card.
Nice.
Okay, now given your background in regards to the ID card, what does it look like? What would we see on this ID card, or do you want to keep that secret for right now?
Let's see. I probably wouldn't be showing it off a lot. It's probably very dirty and stashed away in my jacket pocket. So yeah, I'm not sure if anybody would have seen my ID card.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let me get onto here. All right, so where we're going to be starting off is here at this settlement. As I said, it's been about 30, 40 years since the bombs dropped. You are pretty much the singular connection to outside towns in regards to this small little reservoir. They're still calling it Sun Moon Lake. So this is the Sun Moon Lake settlement. And what you're dealing with this morning, let's see, what is our weather this morning? What you're dealing with is that you're seeing the overcast sky. It is a little humid, it's not too hot, but the sky is completely overcast, and you see yourself coming into town. Inside the town, you've got a set of buildings that are being used as homes. You've got a small agricultural plot that you can see is still struggling pretty badly. And you see, of course, a little trading outpost that's usually frequented by individuals going there just to buy their daily necessities outside of food. So would you want to go there? Would you want to go to any of the homes there? What do you want to do?
I'll probably swing by this trading post, check in, see how they're doing. I assume I know the person who works the trading post usually.
Yes. So you get there, and person that you find has been. Hold on one second. Their name is Taylor. That's the English name that we're gonna go with. So their name is Taylor, and he's been running the place for the last 10, 15 years. He took over after the previous person died, and you and him get along decently well. Your reputation here is at least good. It's not bad. And in regards to the people inside of that building, who would be going into the trading shop? As I said, this is your daily necessities. Who would be there in the morning? Would any of our players be there in the morning picking up?
Yeah, are you
stuff?
asking Jian Yu or us?
Oh, I'm asking
The
you
rest of
guys.
us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Val would be there. Probably because Val is knows that it's about time for Jian Yu to come back.
Okay. Minsky, would you be there?
Yeah, he'd probably be just hanging around there at this time.
Okay. Camacho, I'm pretty sure that you'd be there as well as Sean, because both of you, as you've mentioned before, same thing for Val, is that you guys are pretty much mercenaries, and this is kind of the area where jobs and requests get dropped off. But I'm gonna ask instead of assuming, would you be there?
Kind of like sending kids out on errands to go and spy on.
Okay, so you'd be
spy and
there
see if they can
talking with the kids.
Mhm.
Okay, and Sean.
What time of the day did you say it was? In the morning.
It's morning. It's probably about like 8 a.m. ish. If anybody had a functional clock.
Yeah, okay, probably being to literally dip in and out and check the job board and leave almost immediately again after.
All right. So yeah, Jianyu, when you get inside this trading post, you can see all of them. There's also, as was mentioned by Camacho, there's a couple of kids there. They all look to be about 15, 16-ish. Modern day would be like high school age. But seeing as it's the wasteland, there are no real schools anymore. These kids are always trying to find little things, maybe trying to find scraps of food. Maybe they're trying to get a little bit of work from Camacho, because Camacho always pays. But you see those kids running around. You see Minsky in the back, probably chilling there with the owner of the shop themselves. Again, name was Taylor. And you see Sean kind of pop his head in, taking a very quick look, while Val seems to be waiting there, knowing that you're coming. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna come in, and I am going to. Guess the right thing to do would be start off with the shopkeeper and go say hi to Taylor because it's his place. So I guess there's Minsky and Taylor back there. I'll come up, good morning, How you doing today, Taylor? How's the kids?
Taylor looks up at you. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing all right this morning. The kids are running around. She's always here, but at least she's giving him a couple of caps each whenever they're going and running errands for her instead of for me." And you see him kind of lean over the counter. "You should be helping mind the shop." How are you doing, Gianni?
Ah, it's a beautiful morning. And Minsky, how you doing?
Well, how are you, Doctor?
I'm doing good. By the way, do you know what the date is? I know you got that good clock on you.
Cap, do I know what day it is?
You do know what day it is. Let me pull that up because I have that written down somewhere. buried in our past ones. Yeah,
I told you I'd
into a
ask.
loop here.
Oh, this isn't a Christmas bit.
Yeah, it's totally Christmas. There we go. Okay, so it is. Let's say I'm gonna roll for this one. Actually, it is October 19th, 2110.
Date is October 19th, 2110.
Is it really the 19th? Or are you still running on American time?
No, I believe that's up to date.
Oh, you and that daylight savings time thing throws me for a loop every year.
All right, I'm
So
actually
how
gonna
y'all doing?
type this in for us. October 19th. There we go. Go ahead.
How y'all doing? I got some new junk. Got a little bit of ammo too.
So at this point, I think Val probably gets up from wherever he's standing because he realizes that Jianyu is taking. He's like bringing everybody in, and Val approaches him and says hello and says, "All right, Doctor. If you have any 308 ammo, I'll take it."
Yeah, I haven't found any of that. Got some extra 38s. Got a little bit of 10 mil.
Well, Val turns to Minxie and he says to Minxie, "Minxie, do you need any fixing up or anything? Do you need any parts figured out? Is there anything that Jianyu could get you and I could put on you?"
I appear to be in perfect working condition at the moment.
And I just imagine like Minxie has like a spare wire that's just kind of like flipping around.
Throwing a couple sparks.
Yeah.
Just out of view of my stalks.
So Val says, "Well, Doctor, if you don't have any of the 308 ammo, when you're done here, I'd like to talk to you about something. Something I've been kind of thinking about for a while. So as soon as you get the chance, I'll be over in my shop."
All right, sounds good.
The trader leans over the counter, and Taylor looks over at Johnny. Is like, "You sure you didn't find any 308? We've been sending our hunters out, but we're almost out of ammo."
Yeah, I haven't found any in a while.
Shit.
I'll keep it on my list.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it, Johnny. And yeah, so Val, you're heading out. You're heading back to your residence, and we've got Sean now popping his head in, and Val kind of walks past him as Sean's popping his head in. Do you say anything? Do you guys interact at all?
I think the furthest interaction that Sean Dalton and Val Jacobs would have is to look each other in the eye and just nod and walk past each other.
That's exactly what happens. And Sean will stride up to the board, and you'll see a guy, kind of in his early to mid 40s, good-looking dude, like kind of square jaw, head sort of hair parted to the side quite neatly on one side. All in navy blue, long sleeve sort of navy blue shirt and sort of combat trousers that have been restitched and sewn up, and some boots and a openly carrying, like he's got like a shoulder holster that you see a suppressed 10mm pistol, and he strides up to the board. Is there anything on the job board at all?
Well, what is your luck score?
4.
All right, go ahead and roll me charisma plus your luck. I'm going to give you a DV0 on this. This will help give us some AP if you get any successes.
Oh, hang on. How do I do one stat on this? One stat plus another stat.
Yeah, so you're going to open up your character sheet, and then inside your character sheet, you go to your, let's see, should be down on, the interface has changed. Oh my goodness. No! I have no idea. Somebody in chat want to give us a shout, let us know.
On your character sheet, go to the character tab.
Oh,
and
there
then
it is. Yeah, it's
upper right corner. You'll see like a little Pip-Boy looking guy and a little grayed out dice.
Yeah,
next to
I
him.
got that far, but I can get like one stat, but he's asking for 2 stats. He's only let me do a stat and then a skill.
Sorry, you're right. So for that, go ahead and give me luck, and then give me survival.
All right.
I totally
Well, it's
forgot.
not
Not
too
two
bad.
attributes. It's supposed to be an attribute and a skill. I'm learning, folks. I'm learning. It's my first time. All right. So there is, let's see, luck 4, survival
No.
2. We got a 7 and 8. There are no successes, so no AP, but you do see that there is one listing up on the board, and you can see on there that it's very rapidly scrolled, and it said, always looking for hunters. Get them damn roaches. 5 caps ahead.
More pigeon work. Kind of screws it up and stops and rethinks it, and then just kind of pockets the screwed up ball of paper. And it turns his head to Jianyu. You got any 10mm?
Why, yes, Mr. Dalton. I got some just recently. It's 2 caps of a round. If you'd like some, I got 13 on me right now.
I'll take 10 caps worth.
Sounds good to me. I'll hand him over 5 rounds.
Cool.
All right.
All right, and I hand you 10 caps.
For those of you who might be a little bit confused about this, when it comes to cost and rarity for our ammunition, is that inside of Fallout Asia, ammunition is going to be a lot rarer. Cost for it is going to be increased, rarity is going to be increased, so it's going to be a little bit more obscure to find these kinds of ammos, a little bit pricier to be unloading your guns. But the positive part is that a lot of the enemies that they may have to deal with in the future, they might not have any guns. So that's always a give and take. So you purchase those rounds from him. You guys exchange your caps, and what you can see in the background is Taylor. John, you see Taylor just looks over at Sean, exasperated, like, oh, why does he always tear them off the board? And he pulls out another piece of paper, writes down the exact same thing, and puts it up on the board, thumbtack. And he's like, oh, just leave it there next time. I'm not going to say anything. He's going to shoot me in the face. And you see him start walking away to the other side of the counter. So, Sean, you found a job posting. Jianyu, you've made your first sale. Congratulations.
Yay!
So
I
we've got our
actually
first
have,
sale. Oh, go ahead.
per my background, I actually already have a job, but it's in a nearby settlement that offers to pay 50. That's
Yeah.
part of my starting loadout. Yeah, just to make you aware.
Yeah.
Just
Do
to
you want
make the
to?
audience aware.
Do you want to take a look at that?
Yeah.
So as you kind of quietly mumble to yourself, like, oh, just more pigeon work, you crumple it up and kind of jam it in your pocket. You feel that other sheet that's in there, and so you're gonna take it out and look at it just to remind yourself.
Yeah.
So what it says on there, it doesn't have a specific settlement location written down because you know exactly where it is. It's a location just north of your guys' position. And it says that they're looking for somebody to locate a specific building. They need to get inside that building, and they need you to retrieve, and it just says, the object. And on there, you know that the object, explicitly, they didn't want to write it down, is a fusion core. But this location, as I mentioned, is in the north. It is just around the area where old Sun Moon Lake was, the major resort. You know they're looking for fusion core, and they have a building marked out on the map.
Okay.
Now the issue is, as we've talked about a little bit in chat, is that most people don't normally head out of these settlements unless they have somebody that they know can guide them. That always costs a little bit of money. And it's also exceedingly dangerous. This area itself is still inhabited by a decent amount of wildlife that is all highly irradiated. And as anybody who has been anywhere in Asia knows, Asia has a huge cockroach problem, literally everywhere. So there's always that you have to look out for. So you have not been able to head out to that, but you got that slip dropped in underneath your door about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay. Awesome. So you've got your pigeon work, and the pigeon work slip has been rewritten, put back up on the board. 5 caps ahead. Oh, puppy, kitty.
Keeps jumping up on my lap, yeah.
Aw,
Mummy's away for the weekend, so she wants attention.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Normally we've got Rob in the chat, kitty or puppy, all caps. So my turn. But yeah, so there you go. And Gianni, you've got your first sale. You see him pocketing the slip of paper, talking about rad roach heads. What else do we have going on there? Camacho, Minsky, what are you guys doing?
Stroll over to Jianyu. Amigo, do you have any cigars?
Ah, wish I did. Haven't seen a good cigar in a while.
And this is actually one thing that I want to point out for our audience, because this is something I've put together for my players as well. You may be able to see it on our little interface. Is that I put together this beautiful little player splat sheet. And one of the wonderful things that I love about Fallout is the uses of luck. So, our Mr. Gianni, or Dr. Gianni, he has a huge amount of luck. If he wants, he can use 1 point of his luck and introduce a lucky fact or detail, and that could be the existence of a cigar that he has just recently found. Would you like to do so?
Yeah, why not? Let's burn the first point of luck.
All right. So you use up your first point of luck. You have Camacho coming out that you find a cigar, kind of rummage around in your pocket for a minute, and lo and behold, you're able to pull out a nice long cigarolo, still in its old plastic pre-war wrapper.
Nice. Yep, I actually, let's see, I got something here for you somewhere. Here we go. Still wrapped, just for you. I've been saving this one for you.
Oh. How much?
You're good with the kids. $3, 3 caps.
And send over the
3
caps.
caps for a pre-war cigar? Damn.
I mean, you got to with the kids. She's a community person.
Yeah, community organizer. She's a staple.
She does all those after-school programs.
Yeah.
She does.
I'm a model citizen. What are you talking about?
Hey kids, have you ever seen a lighter and a spoon together before? Let's see what Overdrive can really do.
Hey, that's not for the kids. Come on. I'm saving that for me.
All right, so yeah, there you go. First use of your luck. As you said, you've burned a point of luck, so your available luck drops down by 1. But for everybody in our audience, this is a wonderful tool, and it's literally my favorite rule out of everything in the entire Fallout handbook. This ridiculous, like, super long 400 pages of beauty right here. Very lucky I got mine. But I love the luck of the draw. It's something that a lot of other games could really use. So there you go. And Camacho, pre-war cigar. Congrats.
Good find. Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
So how you been, Camacho? Been up to anything interesting?
Bad. Have you come across any juicy secrets while on your travels?
Nothing interesting. I mean, not that many people out there. Same old at the other settlements.
If you hear anything, I can pay for good information.
I always keep that in mind. Pull out a little list, scribble it down.
So you start
Especially when
writing that
the
down. And Camacho, what are you looking for? What do you mean by juicy little secrets?
score of weapons, especially like armories from like any of the major factions, CCP, yeah. Um, Looking to build up a store so I can turn around and jack up the price and resell them.
Gotcha. All right. Something to keep in mind is that you can always try and use the obtain information. So if you want to in the future, once we got some AP, you can totally try and obtain some info. All right. And Minsky, you're in the back, and Taylor comes back up to you, and you can see Taylor is trying to fiddle around with that wire. He's looking over at your wonderful what is it, nurse handy form. It's just like, oh, these American models are so well built, but the wiring, oof, wiring's atrocious. And he starts trying to pull at the wire to shove it back in. Are you gonna let
Be
him?
gentle, please.
All right. I'm going to roll a really quick repair. Let's see if we get anything on here. Intelligence and repair. I've got my D20s up in here. Wow, awesome. So I just got a double success from Taylor. He's able to get that wire fitted back in underneath your panel, and you are now nice and shiny. No more sparking fiddly wires.
Thank you for your kindness.
Well, no problem. You're the one that helped me out with when one of my kids fell over last week. I gotta return the favor. And you're a rare model. Gotta keep you looking good. Pats your chassis.
I just kind of happily bob up and down.
Is there anything that you want to do while you are here? Or is this just the kind of place that you hang out?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time just kind of idling by the job posting board, seeing, kind of hoping someone comes around and asks me for a hand with something.
Okay. Well, Taylor is, as I mentioned, he puts that note back up. He's always looking for folks going out there to try and get some rad roaches. But the one thing that all of you know, as I mentioned, is that the rad roaches are pretty much everywhere. Most of them are usually pretty small, nothing that would get paid for. But the big ones are just outside of the main settlement itself. They seem to be scuttling around what they believe is the field, and are what they assume are causing that little blight that's been kind of screwing up their crop there. But that's mostly Minsky. That's mostly what you hear is just people complaining about the roaches, and of course, everybody once in a while getting scratches, bites, and that's most of your day. So Jianyu, what exactly are you going to be doing now? You've gotten your first little, or actually two trades. You've talked with Taylor. Where would you be heading next, or what else would you be doing?
So most everybody's going to come to the trading post if they want something. Is that where I would normally set up to sell anything?
Yeah. So Taylor kind of points outside. There's a little awning that they have, little overhang, and an empty space there. Normally in Taiwan, those spaces get filled up pretty quickly. But Taylor points outside. It's like, oh, you can feel free to set up if you want. We've got folks might be coming in soon. It's only about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'll set up for the morning and kind of hang out there for a couple hours in the morning. Figure most people in the settlement will come by sometime before noon or whatever if they're going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And so I'll hang out there with Dynamo.
All right. Yeah, so you head outside, you start setting up with Dynamo, and as all of you know, this is a pretty quiet settlement. Being outside of the old city, Sun Moon Lake City itself, You know that this area usually doesn't see many people. You guys are up in the mountains. The old reservoir itself rarely gets any water anymore unless it actively rains, and as you guys already know, rainwater is probably not something you should be drinking too much. But over the course of the morning, is there anything that any of you want to do, or are we gonna jump into a little bit of streamlining?
The only thing is that Val also has a note for a job in a nearby settlement worth 50 caps. And we've never decided what that is either.
Okay. You can totally check that out right now. Would you like to do so?
Yep, now's the time.
So you also kind of look at your note. You know that there's not many jobs here in town except for annoyingly having to go after those stupid rad roaches. But you open up the note and you have one that's actually kind of similar. It seems like a lot of people here in the reservoir area are constantly reaching back out into the old city trying to look for stuff. But you see that somebody's looking for their old family heirloom. What they're looking for, they have family plaques, and they're looking for somebody to go in, find their family plaque. They have an address for their old house, which is just outside of the main town itself, and they write down, please, 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 I know you can do this. I'll gladly give you 50 caps, and if you're able to find anything else from my family inside, I'll give you a little extra.
Okay. And this is someone in Sun Moon Lake City.
So the job posting is coming from inside of the reservoir area, and they're talking about the quote unquote old settlement, which was the resort, which you might remember you had lived there in that area previously.
Okay, so it's definitely something that Val would be able to do.
Yeah.
So in that case, to pass the time, he's going to be going over what limited ammunition he has left and his little bit of quick travel supplies that he's going to need to walk up there.
Awesome. So yeah, you take a look at that job posting. You start getting your stuff together. The one thing that you remember is that to get back into the resort again, you're probably going to need a guide, somebody to walk you there. Make sure you get through the the radiation areas, get away or get around the major animal issues that are out in the forest as well, because the roads are mostly gone at this point. It's only been a couple of decades, but stuff grows here pretty fast. Even if it's irradiated and looks mostly dead, it's still pretty fast. Um, and the biggest issue is that you don't want to run into anything too dangerous. It's the same issue that Sean is having as well, is that he's unable to really get out of town safely at this point. Camacho, what are you doing? Just giving orders to the kids?
Yeah. I kind of have the kids follow Sean again, or like
Okay.
keep tabs on him. I actually walked back up to Jianyu. Hey, have you heard like in your travels, have you come across anyone that's looking to have work done, like particular bodyguard work, or that needs a mercenary for?
I don't know. Have I, Cap?
So in this regard, you know that generally when people have asked you either for an escort or to find items like out in the random wastes and stuff, you usually hire somebody on to help keep you safe, and you go with them. But nobody recently has asked you, so you
All
don't
right.
know of
Yeah.
anything at the moment.
Yeah, I know I've worked with Val before on those sorts of things.
Yeah.
No, I don't know of anything at the moment, but I was going to check around after setting up for a couple hours here, you know?
Other towns,
So
you can probably take me to, or lead a group or whatever to to wherever we need to go. I suppose that would be safe.
yeah, we could possibly set up something. maybe go on a little expedition, collect some junk.
That'd be useful.
All right. Well, we've got our wonderful little group here. We've got Sean going back, being broody, but something is definitely ruminating in the back of his head because he seems to be very actively and very purposefully walking. You're being stalked by children. Go ahead and give me a perception, and let's see, what can we combine a perception with that isn't survival? Let me open up my handy dandy rulebook. So perception, not survival. What do you think would work best in your regards to seeing people who might be tampering? Because this is something you've done in the past.
Yeah.
We've got sneak. We've got survival. Those are the two big ones that I can think of. You can make your call on which one you'd like to use.
Like if the kids are being sneaky, then sneak. See patterns, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay,
You're cool.
Yeah, go ahead and roll intelligence sneak or perception sneak. You can pick whichever one's stronger. And I'm going to roll an opposed roll.
Same.
So what'd you get? So for this, since it was an opposed roll, you got a 4 and a 2, so that's oh, there we go. Yeah, so you got a success. Hilariously, you're looking around. They think they're being pretty sneaky, but one of the kids, the one who recently had scratched themselves and Minsky had patched them up, the exact same kid falls and trips over a large barrel, smashing it down to the ground, spilling out a bunch of trash out onto the walkway, and the kid's just like, "Oh crap! Oh." And looks up, sees you noticing them, and just runs back to the shop.
And Sean just stops a second and shakes his head. He was going to say something, but they've taken off.
Well, you can see that the other two kids, because there are 3 children that have been following you.
Okay.
The other 2 kids are hiding nearby. You can see them, but that one kid had a critical fail of a 20. So
That I have like the cabin that I'm living in, just sort of on the edge of the village, is like up a little slope, and I'm like at the bottom of the slope, just off the main road. When I turn and see this, Sean will turn to the 2 remaining children. You know, I ate the last person that followed me back home. I'm sort of calling out. I know where they are, but I'm calling out as if I don't.
okay.
So you can follow me if you want, but you'll see what happens. It turns and just heads back up towards his cabin.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma survival. Let's see how these kids react. So both of the kids just kind of look at each other like, psh, he's never eaten anybody before. His nails are too perfect. Ugh. No, let's keep following him. And you see them continue trying to hide behind stuff as they're slowly like darting across the road, thinking they're super sneaky, hiding behind little buildings and structures. But you know they're there. You can hear them. You can hear them giggling. They're young teenagers, but they think that they're being super secret spies and not doing a very good job about it.
I would know. And Sean kind of smiles to himself, but carries on heading up towards the cabin, and he stops at the door. When I was feeling hungry, suppose dinner can come sooner rather than later. And he turns around and goes, "Ah!" like towards the kids.
Let's see. Yes, one of them literally bursts out of what looks like a little crappy bush, screaming, and just bolts down the road like, "Oh, it's gonna eat me!" Just runs away, and the other kid just kind of stands up, looks at their younger sibling, then looks at you. It's just like, man, really? And then just runs, goes after their sibling as well. And you see both of them run back down the path down that little slope, and they head back down to the shop.
And John's got like just sort of a deck chair that's out of the front of his cabin, and he just takes a seat in it, takes the gun, the 10mm pistol out of his holster, and like puts it on the table, and just kind of takes it to pieces and begins just kind of cleaning it with whatever he's got. Just rag at this point. It's better than nothing. He's kicking himself, but it's better than nothing. He's still a bit rusty when that stuff. It will come back to him, he's sure. But it's more just to keep the parts that are there clean rather than to do anything crazy and invasive. And then kind of, spends the next sort of 15 minutes disassembling and reassembling it.
All right.
And keeping an eye out.
Yeah, so the morning goes by pretty decently. One thing that all of you know from living up in this mountain area for a pretty decent extended amount of time is that the weather changes somewhat frequently. It can go from a beautiful sunny morning with the rad birds singing and lizards running around, and of course the wall dragons. They're chomping down on stuff. But when it comes down to it, the weather itself can go from this beauty all the way to a horrible rad storm in minutes. And so over the course of the day, you see this slowly shift from a somewhat overcast day, but you can see that the overcastness, those clouds, start to drip. Now, they don't just drip, they drip blood rain. And you can see this thick tar-like substance. We actually have this horrible stuff here called beetle nut. It looks like beetle nut spit dripping out of the sky, this deep blood red dropping down. It's filthy, it's toxic, it stinks. And any individual who is outside is going to be dealing with a couple of different issues. So we know that Sean is in on his little patio area. You're cleaning off your gun. We know Camacho, you were still inside the trading post, right? We've got Jianyu, who's outside under an overhang. You can see that starting to come down. Minsky, you don't have to worry about poison. And Val, you went back to your home. So everybody's indoors, but you can see these disgusting streaks and smudges on the windows, the few windows that you can still see through. They're kind of streaked down there. But Jianyu, since this is going to be affecting your business, you have a choice. Do you want to stay set up? Do you want to move inside, or do you want to head out? It's your call.
If it's not going to cause any major problems, I'll pack up quickly and head over to talk to Val. He wanted to say something to me, and looks like business is done for the day.
All right. In that instance, what I need you to do is I need you to give me a endurance survival. I believe that's part of the system here. I'm always screwing this up. So
Yep.
Second. Endurance survival check, and it's going to be a DV2. Blood rain is not something that you want to mess with.
Then I probably shouldn't go out in that. What kind of damage does it deal if you go out in there?
This specifically today, I've rolled probably the worst I've ever seen. 2 damage and 2 persistent poison damage. So 2 direct damage, 2 persistent poison.
Sounds like I should probably actually just wait it out.
Okay. So you're gonna wait it out for this early section of the afternoon. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't want to go out in that and get myself or Dynamo hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, you stay. You decide to stay underneath the awning at least, unless you want to go indoors. But what you can see is that there's one of the smaller rad roaches. It's only about that big. You see one of these smaller rad roaches kind of scuttling around on the ground, and you see it get a couple of drops on it, and just kind of stops and just continues waddling. A couple more drops, and it just lays down flat. This poison rain is so extreme that right now it seems to even be killing some of the rat roaches. But this is one of the smaller ones. As I said, it's only about this big, maybe about the size of a small handbook. So it's pretty small for what you normally run across.
That's mean rain.
Is this blood rain like a new phenomenon, or is this something that we're used to?
This is something that you're used to. You've seen this before. It's one of the reasons why a lot of the glass windows that you can see in Taiwan, because Taiwan loves having these beautiful, like floor to ceiling windows. A lot of them are just smeared and streaked, and you're not exactly sure what's left them. But blood rain has definitely contributed to it.
Bummer.
Yeah. But so everybody is indoors for right now. All of you are able to avoid the poison and the damage. Luckily, our Dr. Jianyu decided against going out, because that would have been a pretty difficult survival check. But the day starts winding on like this, and it seems to last for a couple of hours. And we're going to take our quick break right now, but what you see first is that as the rain starts letting up, Jianyu, you actually see somebody, a person, hobbling up that road as the rain is dissipating. They've clearly been going through it, trying to get through that rain. But they're coming on up, and you can see that they are dripping this disgusting, tarish rain off of their poncho. And they look up at you and they said, uh, is there a doctor? And they just collapse. So that's where we're going to take our break. Ladies and gentlemen who are in our audience, we will return in just a minute. I'm going to pop us over to our intro screen, because my bio break screen is super lame. I'm going to drop us over to our intro screen. I'm going to put it on our starting soon, and I'm going to leave our mics hot. If you want to chat with any of our wonderful, wonderful members here, you can also ask any questions. Feel free, please, and we'll answer the best to our ability. See you folks in a few minutes. Right, mics are hot. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and I'll see you guys in a few. I'm going to put my audio on my phone so I can still hear you guys if you do talk or ask any questions.
I'll be right back. Recycling, and I've got trash left over from yesterday. That's
do that multi-value roll again? Captain Mark. How do we do that multi-value roll?
What is it you're trying to roll?
Oh, I was just wondering, like if I have to do it. I know you go to the character sheet. You hit that grayed out dice, and it brings you to.
Yeah, the dice is in the top right hand corner. No, the confusion was earlier. He asked me to roll 2 attributes rather than an attribute and a skill. It
So when
won't let you do it. It won't let you do 2 attributes. So
Yeah, when it says input value, it says attributes. Like it gives you strength, perception, endurance, whatever. You just hit
That's right.
one of those and submit. Or
yeah, and then it should come up with a list of skills.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And with the tank skills, if you roll under your skill rank as opposed to having to roll a 1, you get a crit.
So it looks like we're gonna go snipe hunting for rad roaches.
Probably, or we're gonna have to figure out why this guy
Is melting.
is melting in front of us.
Yeah.
Seems like seems like a bad plan to me. I don't know. To walk through acid blood rain. Not even acid rain or blood rain. Acid blood rain.
Yeah, not a good
Rain
plan.
is pretty
No.
vicious. For those of you
It's
who,
vicious, it's viscous.
yeah, it's gross. For those of you who have been out to Asia, anybody in our viewership right now, what I'm talking about is the God, what's that? What's that name? Beetle nut. It is super ridiculously popular all over Asia. It's called banlang here, or binlang in Taiwan. and it is super ridiculously popular. It is literally the equivalent to like chewing tobacco over here, except for when you spit, it literally looks like you're hawking out a load of blood. Like it's literally blood red. It is disgusting, and the remnants they leave behind. No bueno. I was really freaked out the first time I saw that. I saw a guy walk down the street ahead of me my very first year here, and he was just chewing this big thing, and I'm like, oh man, that guy's got a lot of chewing tobacco, and then all of a sudden he spits. I'm like, is he okay? And the teacher that I was with is like, oh, it's okay. It's just been long, and I'm like, okay, if you say so. But yeah, it's
Totally normal.
pretty nasty. It's totally normal here. It's pretty popular in like the Philippines as well, mainland China, Indonesia has it a little bit. So yeah, it's all over the place. But when it comes to our chat, a couple of folks are still pretty active. RC Walker was asking if he could get a copy of the art. If any of you are interested in any of the art that I make or that's in the supplement, you can always feel free to check out our wonderful Cybernation uncensored Discord page. I dropped a share link. It comes with Moobot, I think, drops it every once in a while. You can check over there with the hashtag there for Capricious Nature designs, because that's where I drop up all my art and all my generators and all my links. And so, I just got a friend request from RC Walker. Hello, RC Walker.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, more friends. But yeah, so you can always check out what's going on out there. I'm dropping my art, dropping the links. Yeah. So I have us back in our main overlay. I'm going to drop in our next wonderful artist. The first one that we've been hearing mostly from today is Tim over at Base Ape Records. I'm now going to drop us some 1,000 Reasons. I absolutely love this track. It's very good ambiance, especially for the spooky creepiness. And pardon my cracker eating. I have not had breakfast yet. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So, what Jianyu sees from the front of this shop with a little awning, what he sees is an individual kind of coming up, very beleaguered, very, very pulled down by the rain. And he walks up and says, "Is there a doctor?" and collapses to the ground. Jianyu, you can see underneath him as he hits the ground, there is a viscous splash of noise as he drops down to the ground. And
it's still pouring, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. The rain has now started dissipating. It's not even a drizzle of this blood rain anymore. But the rain is mostly dissipated. It's back to being overcast and super humid. You can smell that thick kind of chemical smell up in the air. But no longer is the rain pouring down.
All right, I'm gonna call out for Minsky. Minsky, we need you out here now. And then I'm gonna start running over towards the guy, and start trying to get him, out of the blood rain muck and mud.
Okay. Yeah. So you come out. You come out from under the awning. You start helping the guy up. And Minsky, do you come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come bobbing on out.
So the two of you are going on out, and you see this guy. He very clearly is a survivor. He's covered in what can only be described as rags, as well as what looks like an old plastic tarp, partially eroded and weather-beaten with time, and partially eroded by this blood rain. And you can see his face. He has the stains of the blood rain all over his face. It is this disgusting thick redness. But you also see what looks to be a slight tremor in his hands. He's unresponsive, but he is tremoring. Minsky, if you want to give me your very first medicine check, we can check out and see what in God's name is wrong with this man. So it's going to be intelligence medicine. Alright, so let me pull up my overlay again. Oh, 2 successes. Hot damn. Are those 2 1s?
Yes.
No, those are 2 single successes.
Okay, I was
The
like, oh
parentheses,
my
the
god.
roll.
I was about to be super
The,
mind-blown. Yes, so the super bright one is the critical success. Okay, so yeah, you've got 2 10s. You match both of those. Excellent. Required was a 10. And it was a DV1 to figure out what exactly was on the surface level wrong. DV2 to figure out what was seriously wrong. So you're able to tell pretty quickly what's going on with this guy is that he's been affected by the poison that's in his blood brain, and you're able to stabilize him from that. So you're able to kind of get him stabilized. He's not dying anymore, but he still seems to have these shakes. And you can see what looks like kind of this weird chunk of metal. Looks like maybe he had shrapnel stuck in him, and it's sticking right out above his clavicle, off the side of his neck, and it looks like some blood's coming out of that area. What are you guys gonna do?
Who's there? Is it just Minxie and Jianyu?
I don't want to say Minxie, so Minsky.
Oh, whoops.
Minxie up in here. No, Minsky. Minsky, Jianyu, the shopkeeper as well. Taylor is he's inside. He's kind of popping his head out. But if you want, I know Camacho. Right now we can see that Raven has her prop with her. Nice. But Camacho had probably heard as well. Whether or not you or Sean did, you guys can roll some perception checks if you would like.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So for you, I'm going to have you do a, let's say, perception speech. And for Sean, perception speech as well. Sean, it'll be a DV2, and for Val, it'll be a DV1 based on your guys' distance.
Perception. Speech.
Yep.
2 dice. No tag skills. Hey!
All right, Val, you heard Jianyu screaming out. Oh my God, Sean heard too. Oh. Applause for you. My hat comes off. You got a
It's my tag skill.
critical success. Double skill, and it's a tag. So that means that would be 1, 2. Okay, so that'd be two successes. You got it. Sean, you barely on the edge of your hearing as that rain's finally starting to come up. You hear Jianyu scream, "Minsky, get out here!" And Val, you can hear it from just up the road. You're only a couple of buildings away. You hear him yell this out, kind of echoing in the empty streets. So all of you at this point have heard.
Val would grab his rifle and his overcoat and leave.
Okay. Yeah, so grabbing that, getting all of your stuff together, and heading out, that's fine. Sean, what are you going to
I mean, he was already gets done cleaning his gun and literally snatches it up off the table and darts straight towards the source of the noise.
Okay, so you guys start heading down. Awesome. So yeah, you've got a convergence. Jianyu, you're there trying to help this guy up. You see Val popping out of a door just a couple of houses down, and you even see Sean bolting down the side of this like hill coming down the road as well. I guess this is some kind of excitement that normally doesn't happen here. So Minsky and Jianyu, what are you guys doing? You've got this man, he's still dripping this disgusting stuff. And you can see he's stabilized now, but he has this thing sticking out of his neck.
I mean, I feel like we probably should get him maybe inside the trading post, somewhere out of the mud for you to work.
I can help.
Yeah, so let's move him into the trading post, and then Minsky, you can take a look at actually taking care of him.
Is the trading post where Minsky I'm sorry. Is the trading post where Minsky usually does their business? Their healing business?
Minsky does house calls too.
Okay.
All right, so that's
I
actually
didn't,
a really
I didn't
good
know if there
question.
was like a doctor's office.
Yeah, so that's what I was curious about. So Minsky, if you want, you can have like a little medical area in the back of the trading shop. You can have your own little separate area. What would you like to have? It's up to you. I'm giving all of you chances to have your own little settlement areas, little places that you live or work at within the settlement. So
Yeah, I think with the help that Minsky probably gives around the shop, he's probably been given a little section in the back to do some medical stuff.
okay. So yeah, inside the back of the shop, go ahead and just roll me a flat 1d20 for Johnny. Go ahead and roll me flat 1d20.
For me?
Just for Johnny. Sorry,
Oh, John.
Minsky.
I thought you said Jianyu.
No, sorry. I'll stick with Minsky. That's why I was like, oh crap. Oh, just 1d20. No need for the combat dice. 17. Excellent. That's what I was looking for. So in the back, not only did he give you a little area, but over time, probably Gianni's brought in some stuff. Other people have brought in some stuff. You've got a decent little setup. You've got a curtain that blocks the area off. Somebody brought in one of those old school medical gurneys. So you have a medical gurney. You even managed to have a little light in the back, your own separate light stand to help see. And you've got a little tray next to it. So you got a little medical setup that people have, thanks to your help in the settlement, they have helped you out, trying to give you all that stuff as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you guys would pick him up, start dragging him inside. I would like both of you go ahead and give me strength and endurance. Who is stronger? Who is higher strength between the two of you?
I got 4 strength.
Okay.
I have 6.
All right. So I'm going to have Minsky. You can do strength and survival for picking him up, and then I'm going to have Jianyu roll an aid for it. So you're going to make the same roll. If Minsky succeeds, then you can give an additional dice for assistance. So it'll be strength survival. Looking at DB1. All fails.
No.
So you start picking this guy up, and his shakes are getting worse, it seems. And the guy literally slips out of Minsky's claw hand. Just his arm just kind of slips out, and he falls off with your little stabber syringe arm. But at this time, Sean and Val, both of you have arrived. And you see
so I
Minsky attempting to lift him up and dropping him back into the muck.
As soon as that happens, Val realizes there's no like radroach infestation suddenly, and he puts his rifle over his shoulder and like sighs and walks up and tries to drag this guy into the trading post.
Okay. Sean, would you try giving a hand as well? What would you do?
Yes.
You see this
Yeah.
disgusting mess.
I'd take him grab him by the ankles if Val's grabbing him by sort of like by the shoulder or the upper body.
Yeah, that's what I imagined.
Avoiding what I imagine is the skin sloughing off of his ankles as I pick him up by the shoes. And yeah.
I'm gonna tell Val, like, be careful of the neck.
Yeah, I feel Val like looks at the guy and he tries to like put his hands inside the guy's jacket so that he can touch a spot of him that isn't covered in blood rain, so that he can like drag him but also not really touch the part of him that's covered in poison.
Sean just grabs him by the ankles. He seems far too comfortable with the situation.
Okay. And Camacho, you can see all of this happening from the inside of the shop. Are you staying inside? You heading out?
Trying to see what the commotion's about. Her first her first reaction was like, "Dios mío, what happened?"
This one's staggering from God knows where. Just help us get him inside.
Grab a hold, or see about grabbing a hold wherever I can.
Okay. So for this, Val, go ahead and give me a strength plus survival, and since Sean is helping, go ahead and do the same. You reach inside of his jacket, and Sean grabs the ankles, and both of you seem to have interacted with some of that blood rain. Let's see, do we have any critical failures? Yes, we do. Sean, you touch some of that blood rain. It gets across your forearm and on your hands. And what happens is that you receive a little bit of damage from this situation as you drop him. So the damage that's being dealt by this stuff, the active rain, was 2 damage and 2 effect. So I'm going to roll just 2 dice. We'll see what you deal with. You have 1 persistent poison damage. So this acid gets on your hand, and you can see it literally start smoking as your hand starts reacting to it. You take 1 damage right now. And
who rolled a fail? Sorry.
Yeah, you got a critical failure. You got 19.
Oh, okay. Well, 20. Okay.
20 is the average. This was a slightly dangerous task, and so the critical band expands to 19.
Gotcha.
20. Yep.
Okay. Still learning the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Appreciate that. All
right. So yeah, your hand starts sizzling. You need to get a medical check in order to get that to stop. Otherwise, it will continue burning into your hand.
I just hold it out sort of indignantly towards Minsky. Do you mind?
I can help.
I can help.
I'd appreciate it.
As this guy falls back into the grime.
He falls back on the floor and goes, "All right, just lay there then."
You got a gurney in your work area, right?
I do.
I'll be using that. I go inside to go grab it.
Okay. While you're going to grab that, Minsky, give me a intelligence medicine. DV is going to be a 1 to stop the persistence.
Okay. And I forgot about this. Minsky has a diagnosis mod that reduces medicine difficulties by 1.
Okay, so that'll be a DV0. You can give your team some AP, because you guys have none right now, I don't think. No AP at the moment.
Well, that's what you want.
There you go.
Amazing.
Holy hell. You just generated 4 successes, so that is 4 AP. I'm going to drop those down for you guys. Party AP. So that's going to be a 1. Let's drop that there. Let's give you the second one. Okay, so we've got 3 and 4. Okay, so you guys have 4 AP now stored up, thanks to Minsky kicking some serious ass with that medical check. Congratulations. So yeah, Sean, your hand is stabilized. Minsky seems to like pop out one of the little things, and it just sprays some unknown powder on your hand. It just goes, and it stops sizzling at your flesh. So you've only taken 1 damage total. You do not have persistent poison damage any further.
Lovely.
And you still have that wonderful gentleman down in the muck, but you have Camacho running inside, grabbing that gurney. Go ahead and give me a either an athletics or a strength check to manhandle the gurney outside. So this seems to be a wonderful day for errors. You do not seem to be able to get the gurney to move. The wheels are locked in place down on the ground. You can't seem to get it to go. It doesn't want to cooperate. If you guys want to give me one more attempt at lifting this guy up.
Okay. Is there a way that we could receive help? Because if you use the assist command, it provides a +1 success on a successful skill test. So if Jianyu would help me and Minsky were to help Dalton, that might help us here.
So what this means for the assist is that the main person doing the skill test has to have at least one success.
Okay.
If that person receives a success and the next person rolls and they get a success, then it'll add another success dice to you.
I see. Okay.
That's the issue, is that this has all been a DV1, and you guys have all been getting zeros.
Shinobi makes a very good point, is that we did receive a bonus that we never used.
That was actually a +2 that I have not applied to you guys yet. Because Vampire Bites did not remember that was a plus, not a minus. So I still have that queued up. I'm waiting.
Okay. So then I guess Dalton and I will attempt an athletics check.
All right. Who's gonna lead it this time? Do you want to lead it? Do you want Sean to lead it?
Which one of us is stronger? I'm a 5.
5 as well. I think we've got exactly
then.
the same. Yeah, exactly the same.
Then Val will just get frustrated and try to drag the dude in.
Okay.
And what kind of check are we going to do?
We've been doing strength and survival.
Okay.
And just failing. The one successful one here was Minsky beating the shit out of that healing. If you want, you can buy an extra dice with the AP.
Oh yeah. I'll do that.
Okay.
Right. Strength, survival, and I will buy 1 extra dice. So I'll roll 3 dice.
Okay.
Not a tag skill. All right.
There we go. We've got a success. So, Sean, you've got your hand sprayed off. You successfully get enough leverage holding on to his legs. Val grabs under his shoulders, and you are both able to finally drag his dripping body inside after getting dropped multiple times.
I do have a question. So I had that success, but I also rolled a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a complication or a critical failure? Because
yes,
it was for
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you guys get inside, and as you come in, you seem to see Camacho standing there, still struggling to get this damn gurney to move. And as you come in, you kind of shove Camacho over. And Camacho, you have a choice right now. Either you can fall backwards, or try to grab on to stop yourself from falling and get some of that blood rain on you.
Backwards.
All right, so you trip backwards, and you kind of fall over. This is happening inside of the room, and you can kind of see Val is the one that had caused this, and so as he comes in, he shoves you out of the way. You almost get some of this blood rain on you. You fall over. So Val, you have now pissed off a PC here, which is more dangerous than anything I could have given you. So
Val is immediately just like, all right, sorry, it's emergency.
Get get back up and give him the freaking evil eye. Dios maldito! And freaking...
Right. He slams the dude down on the table.
I just storm out of the room.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got Camacho now and quite angry. Jianyu, Minsky, what are you guys doing as the other two gentlemen drag in this lifeless body?
Gonna follow in behind, start getting my instruments ready.
Just bobbing in like, oh, how exciting. The mute gods have been satiated, everybody. Stink Palm has left on the mute.
I'm gonna follow in also. I'm not sure what I can do to help, but I'll help Minsky if he needs anything.
And I actually want to mention something in our chat. We've got Chav186. He had some issues ordering in the right book in regards to the two different systems that they have. But yeah, Fallout by Modifius, there's two different versions. We are using the tabletop gaming version. They also have the board gaming version, the War Games one. We are not using that version. If you are online trying to order up your books, this is what it looks like. It says Fallout, the role-playing game, so look for this explicitly on the cover, and it should have the 111 printed on there. What's up, Raven?
It'll be under 2D20.
Yeah, it'll be under the 2D20 system. And if you are looking to GM, because I also saw that Chav Hunter was mentioning that he was doing this with some students, I also highly recommend getting the Game Master version. It comes with the extra fancy dice. It also comes with this wonderful Game Master toolkit, which has some amazing resources inside. I love it. I love it so much. As somebody who loves a little bit of extra crunch, it is beautiful, and the art is wonderful. So Chav Hunter, yeah, they nearly have the same name. Just double check when you're making your orders. But if you're working with students, I also work with students. I'm a teacher. I highly recommend giving either of them a shot. Either of them could be quite useful. The board game is extremely visual, so that'll be very helpful for the students. But if you're working with some higher level students, getting the RPG is actually probably a good challenge. So that aside being said, Modifius, thank you very much also for the shout outs. I really, really appreciate it. When it comes to our situation here, we have the man who's unconscious on this gurney. Camacho is kind of stormed out, and we've got Val helping him in, Sean helping him in, and Minsky and Jianyu come in afterwards. Minsky, you can see that this thing that's sticking out of his neck, from being dropped several times, it looks like what was about 2 inches out is only now about 1 inch out of his neck. And you do not see him. You do not see him moving. You barely see him breathing, but you can see that his body still has a little bit of the shakes. What are you gonna do?
He's still covered in acid, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Do I have some milk from Dynamo from this morning, milking Dynamo, left over? Because that could help neutralize some of the acid.
Yeah, if you would like to use your luck of the draw, you could have a bottle of milk left.
Yeah, I'll burn a point of luck, and I'll go grab a bottle of milk and kind of pour it around the area and like across some of the like where we're going to have to be working, so that we aren't going to get burned again.
Okay. So yeah, Sean, Val, you see him going through his pockets, and you see Jianyu pull out this bottle that very haphazardly written in Mandarin. It says milk. What color is the milk, Jianyu?
I don't know what color Brahma milk is. Let's go with kind of like an ugly off yellow.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So you open up the top of that container and start emptying out this off-yellow milk, little bit thicker than the normal milk that we see because it's non-pasteurized. Start pouring out this thick yellowish mixture on top of him, but it neutralizes the acid. It seems to be safe enough to be working on now. And Minsky, you can see him doing this. You see him pour it all over, and you know that John, you made the right call in that regard.
Good call. But you will be cleaning this up later.
And I think at that point, Val's just like, well, I'm leaving.
So,
Right? Yeah, go ahead.
can I tell if after all these drops, does he need to be stabilized again?
He does not need to be stabilized again, but you can see that he is shaking. If you want to make another medical check, you can try operating and working on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Very good. You got 2 successes. That's exactly what you needed. You're able to see that this man was facing something that that was a little bit more peculiar than other stuff that you've dealt with. Normally, what you run across are scrapes, bumps, bruises, small lesions, maybe even like a stray bullet that hit a hunter before. But what seems to be sticking out of his neck, this little sliver kind of metal, as you reach down and start pulling at it, it seems to be resisting being removed. It seems to be kind of lodged into this guy's neck. And as you start tugging at it, you can see the skin kind of coming with it. You can see the tissue underneath coming with it a little bit as well. And this guy reaches up and he grabs your robot arm. He's like, stop. He seems to have been woken up by the pain that you are putting him through.
I'm trying to help.
I know you're trying to help. Stop. It hurts so bad. It's not gonna fix it. It's not gonna fix it. Just let go. Let go. And he starts pulling your arm back.
You mind telling us who put that there?
Well, if he's able to concentrate on it, Minsky, do you let go?
Yeah.
All right. So Minsky finally lets go of this shard coming out of the guy's neck. As I mentioned to you before, originally when you had seen it, it was about 2 inches out. After all the drops, it was down to 1 inch. As you let go, it seems to go deeper into his neck. It seems to kind of have a banding effect, and it goes in, and now it's barely visible. It looks like a little black dot, about maybe 1/8 of an inch, sticking out. And he's like, "It's the infection. It's I'm not gonna last very long. Don't go into town. Just." And he stops talking. You see him kind of frozen there, with his mouth still open, his eyes still open, but he stops speaking.
What time is this approximately?
So let's see how many hours passed during the rainstorm. It is not 10 hours, oh my lord, or 15 hours. Oh my god, why am I rolling so high? There we go. Okay, so it's been about 5 hours, so 8 plus 5, so it's about 1 in the afternoon.
Time of death, 1 p.m.
Your shorts. I'd look for an area that's not as acidy. I'd just quickly check his pulse.
Go ahead and roll me a intelligence medicine.
Oh, well, it's probably not going to work. Yes.
One success. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So you do not feel a strong pulse. It seems to be almost completely gone. If there is one left, it is likely under 20 beats per minute. Most
Fading, but
people-
not gone.
Yeah, most people, including a nurse handy, would likely call them dead at that point.
And I just kind of keep my fingers there as I'm making sure. I'm assuming as I do so, the pulse is slowing down like every little bit. I'll take my fingers away. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Checking databases.
Let's see. There is the ability to have knowledge and stuff. So let's screw it. Give me a intelligence medicine, and you can use AP for extra dice if you want. Remember, 1 extra dice is 1 AP. 2 extra dice is 3 AP.
Yeah, I'll spend an AP.
Okay, I'll take one away. All right. So 1 success, and okay, good. No criticals. You have not seen anything exactly like this, but your assumption is that it was shrapnel, because it was a piece of metal sticking out of this guy's neck, extremely close to the carotid artery. That's what you're assuming.
Did it look like jagged metal? Like I know explosives and stuff like that. Did it look like it was, really shrapnel, or did it look more like worked metal?
You can
Like
lean in and check and give me a perception survival. Or perception medicine. Your choice.
I'm better at survival.
Okay. I think we have our one medical person here.
Two successes.
2 successes. What you saw is that it looked like a perfectly smooth piece of metal. It looked, if you had run across something like this in the past, you would have assumed that it was like a 100 gauge needle. It was perfectly smooth, and it was along, originally when you saw it, about 2 inches. But there was no jaggedness to it. There was no nicks. It was just this black chunk of metal that was sticking out of the guy's neck.
Yeah, that wasn't shrapnel there. No way. I've seen plenty of shrapnel before. That's something else. I think we might want to extract that and get a good look at it.
And the
Is he gone? Gone? I look towards Minsky again.
it appears so.
You got any tools in the room?
And
suppose
my buzzsaw starts spinning.
Yeah. If you would, please, Doctor.
All right, yeah, Minsky is going to attempt to surgically, in the least messy way possible, extract this.
All right. Anybody in chat want to give us any plus or minus 2s or any events? It's your call.
There's 2 minus 2s.
Yeah, we've got 1 minus 2 from Raven. I'm going to use vampires plus 2, and I'm going to take that one away. So anybody else want to drop something on us? It's up to you. I'm going
2
to
minus 2.
call his in. Yes, there's 2. So let's see. You can only use 1 in a round though. Stink Palm's dropping in another minus 2. Okay. Jeez. All right. So yeah, a lot of people are dropping in stuff. Cool. You're getting a lot of assistance. Would you like to use a minus 2?
I would love to use a minus 2.
All right. Would you like to use any AP? You have 2 AP.
I hate to use it all up. Oop, I just exited the game. Yep, I will use an AP.
The room at this time.
All right. Do you want me to roll for you since you've dropped out of the game, or?
I will be loading in right now.
Okay. So you're going to use an AP, so I'm going to drag that over. You guys are down to 1. So go ahead and roll a medicine intelligence. I'll also give you, if you want the opportunity for this, you can use medicine with perception, or you can use medicine with agility.
Can offer an assist.
I'll
also.
stick with intelligence.
You ran out of the room, Camacho. I was actually going to come to you in just a minute.
I said I'd be walking back into the room.
Okay,
this
okay.
time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so go ahead and roll. How would you assist, Camacho?
Medicine.
Yeah, but how? How are you going to be assisting Minsky?
Pick up a pair of forceps and a 10 blade scalpel. If he's got one, if Minsky's got one laying around.
If you would like to use a point of luck, he would. Otherwise, it was supposed to originally just be an empty tray because he has all the tools.
Machete.
Take out your
So,
machete.
the
That
patient-
works too. I mean, that's up to you.
The patient's already dead.
The patient is most likely already dead.
So yeah, I'd assist with like making an incision with the tip of my machete.
All right. So Minsky, go ahead and roll. If you have at least 1 success, then our our Camacho can also roll to assist with the machete. Oh, critical failure! Yes! So, as your buzzsaw goes off, Camacho, don't worry about making that roll. You come in with the machete. If you make that roll, you can, but you got somebody there with a critical failure. Do you want to?
Hold off.
Okay. And yes,
But he
Jenny,
did get 2 successes.
I know. He's got 2 successes. He also has a critical failure. The reason that I said yay for the critical failure is because he was trying to do it as cleanly as possible. And that's where his critical failure comes in. Everybody in the area, all 4 of you, please give me a agility plus survival. All 4 of you, please. Agility plus survival. Johnny, drop. You're good. Minsky doesn't need to do this.
All right.
All right, 1 success, double success. 1 success. Camacho.
Yeah, I'm adding agility.
Oh.
I got survival. I'm how to add agility.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, how?
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be agility is your main attribute, and then the skill is survival. So if you go back and then try typing it in again, agility survival.
Alright, I got it.
Okay. So 1 success, 2 successes, 1 success. Dr. Jianyu, you receive 1 AP for the double success. It was a 1 challenge. Just waiting on Camacho. Double success. Okay, so that's 2 AP that you guys have gained. So all of you are able to kind of step back. You can see what's about to happen from a mile away. You all step back as Minsky's blade comes in right next to that jugular and just starts spraying blood into the area. It's a very precise cut, but as the blade is spinning around, the blood is coming out, spraying all over. And Minsky very, very proudly is able to get in there, cut just about an inch in, and then starts to extract this little sliver of metal. Oh, and Johnny Drop has dropped. Let's wait for him to come back. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a mess at hand. That's fun.
Left the building.
This just became a Guar account? What is Guar?
You know about
Quark? Quark? They're a band.
the band with the pig sense? You would
Yeah.
you would love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a crazy metal band. They do like shows that are half plays, you know, and they like have giant swords and they like chop down bad guys in the middle of songs.
I had no
And then they
idea.
spray everybody with fake blood, or sometimes real blood.
Delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard about that before. Do they use? Is there supposed to be background sound right now? Is there not
They've
background
all got
sound?
like
Oh, it doesn't loop. Oh
ridiculous
my god.
theatrical makeup.
Hold on 1 second. Properties. It's supposed to loop. Oh, it was
That
just
was
super
from
quiet.
before. Okay, yeah, that was from before the break.
Yeah, that was 8 o'clock. Yeah, my god, I didn't see that, but now I've seen on here that it is minimized all the way down. But Johnny Drop has returned to us. So apparently it's Guar now, and I've never heard of them before, but it is now Guar. You start spraying this blood all over the area, but you make an extremely precise incision, only about 1 inch down, but straight through the jugular. And you start reaching in to extract that piece of metal that you had seen from their neck. And you can see that as you start pulling out, it seems to be going deeper in. It does not seem to be wanting to come out. So you've gotten down to it, you've cut into the area, you've got your pincers held onto it, you've sprayed the area with blood like a metal concert. What are you going to do? Are you going to start pulling, or are you going to do something else?
Feel like I've done enough damage here. Yeah, I'm just gonna let go. I don't want to pull too hard and send that flying into someone else.
Okay. All right. So, Minsky, you grab onto it. You start pulling. You can feel that there's resistance behind it, but you let go. All of you around, you guys can see this blood has sprayed everywhere, but you also see Minsky get down to it and then let go of it. You see him let go of this little shrapnel piece.
Did we notice that it seemed like Minsky couldn't pull it out, or did it just seem like Minsky grabbed it and then let go?
To you, it probably looked like he just let go.
Okay.
I'm not sure you can see strain on a robot arm. There's no bulging muscles.
Camacho back in the room again.
Yeah, Camacho's come back in.
Yeah. So I turn, sort of glance over to her and shoot a look towards the machete. Camacho, darling, if you would.
While Camacho is grabbing the machete, Val is actually going to take out his multi-tool, which is basically a Swiss Army knife, but it has a giant pair of pliers on it. And he's going to try to use those pliers to pull out the needle while Camacho chops around it.
All right. Actually, hold on 1 second. I actually forgot to do this earlier. Okay. So yeah, you reach down with the pliers. Go ahead, and I need you to give me a intelligence medicine check.
Oh, Sean was just inferring that she should cut his head off.
Oh, I mean Val for Val. I mean,
and Val's just like, no. He's already dead.
But
let's just try to pull it out. We don't have to cut the man's head off.
This is a medical facility, not a chop shop.
All right, that is That is our quote for the day. I'm gonna be typing that in really quick so I don't lose track of that. This is a medical facility, not a chop shop.
So I will make a medicine check to attempt to pull it out with my pliers.
All right. So you reach in, and you grab hold with the pliers, and you start pulling as well, and you feel this again, a resistance as you start trying to pull it out. And you can see, those of you around him can see that he is actually straining against this. There is a bit of resistance to get it out.
I will grab on sort of behind him and pull, give him an assist on the
Okay, go ahead and give me an
whatever
assist.
check he needs to make.
And,
I'm going to try to assist him too if there's enough room in there. I also have a multi-tool. I might be able to get in and get a part of it too.
It is 1 assist per skill check, but you
All right.
totally can flavor. You can flavor that in. That's fine.
I'll let Mark do it if he called it first.
Okay. Camacho's just standing there at the ready with the machete. This is not a
If I'm
shotgun.
doing if I'm doing the assist, is it Val still making the check and he gets a 1 success if he rolls a success?
So let me actually double check on this because I want to make sure that I'm not screwing you guys up. When it
says
comes
provides
to
a +1 success on a successful skill test. So
yes, that was my super short summary of it.
Yeah, it's not an automatic success. You get
Yeah,
to
no.
roll 1 dice.
Yeah. So major action, assist. You assist another character with their next test. When the character you are assisting takes their turn and attempts a task, you provide assistance, page 16, if you have not yet acted for the round. Okay, so let's jump to page 16. Page number 16, assistance. Okay, so you roll 1d20 and add any success you generate to theirs. So there you go, 1d20. So on here, you can decide which attribute skill combination you're using. It doesn't have to be the same combination. Then roll 1d20, add any successes you generate to theirs, providing the score at least one of their own. Okay, so you can choose if you want to use intelligence, if you want to use medicine as your score that you're rolling against.
and I'm choosing what to add, doing the skill check to add mine. All right. I mean, I'm literally just grabbing from behind and pulling. So strength athletics makes sense to me.
Then, yeah, give me strength athletics then. All right. So that puts it up to 2. Now, Val, what I need you to do right now is please give me a... Hold on 1 second. This is starting to get very complex. This is not a chop shop. I need to get that on a fucking, like, a board and put that up in my room. Oh, so perfect. There are so many...
I want a drawing of like a bloody Mr. Handy that says this is a medical facility.
Covered in gore.
Perfect.
Office sciences rip doc.
Yes. So give me a luck plus athletics.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a luck plus athletics, 2 dice. Oh.
As
Bummer.
Sean is pulling you back, you don't seem to see it slip off. You don't seem to let go. But the metal that you're attempting to pull out, it doesn't seem to be there anymore. It seems to go from solid to liquid, and you topple backwards on top of Sean. You were squeezing on it, pulling and pulling and pulling. You were putting a lot of force onto it, and it doesn't seem to have been able to hold its structure, and you fall backwards.
Oh, we broke it. Shit.
But when you look at your pliers, you don't see anything there except for like a smear of black.
Oh. Okay, so I think first, Valve is very embarrassed because he's now knocked 2 people over. He's like, all right, sorry. He's like patting. I imagine that like when they fall, like he's on top of Dalton, and Dalton has his arms around him, so he's like laying on him, like, okay, please let me go. This is very strange. And now Val goes back to what was that piece of metal and is trying to figure out what just happened.
At this point, so Taylor, guy who owns the shop, he comes to the back and says, "What are you doing? You're trashing the back of my building. Cut this out."
Excuse me, sir. This is a medical facility.
And he looks over at Minsky specifically and says, "I know this is a medical facility, but you're literally spraying my walls with blood and knocking shit over in my shop. Guys, just stop. Is he dead?"
Very much.
Darnail.
Like a lot.
And
Then
his pincer just sort of vaguely motions to the blood spattered all over the.
Very much so. And he just looks over. He's like, "Then leave it be. It's dead. There's nothing you can do. Let's wrap this guy up and put him out in the back. When the guys are back in, they can bury him. Just give the guys some decency. You're causing a ruckus and splattering my shop. This is gross."
While the spraying's already done, Minsky can probably just do an autopsy, see if he can cut him all the way open and see if he can find the piece of metal.
You see Taylor
guarantee
look
there's
over
proper-
straight at Minsky, and Minsky, you see him staring into your eye stalk with just this look of just librarian anger and frustration.
Are you gonna let him just stare at you like that, Minsky?
We should probably wrap it up.
That would be very advisable, thank you. Let the poor guy die in some decency. You've already wrecked him. This is disgust. And he starts walking away.
Val says, well, before we wrap him, we should probably check his pockets.
Are we the bad guys?
Well,
are we the baddies?
Minsky, we don't exactly have good guys right now, so it's up to you.
I will never forget the Whitest Kids You Know segment. That was... so...
Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? I don't
Arms.
know. So, you want to check their pockets? Go ahead and give me a perception survival check as you start rifling through their pockets. Gross. Is anybody else rifling through this poor bastard's pockets?
Yeah, Sean will without any hesitancy at all.
You men are disgusting. Alright, so we got 1 success. What do you got, Sean? Hit me.
Perception, survival, yep.
Yep.
Alright. I had to reboot. Roll 20, alright.
Nice.
Alright, 2 successes total. So both of you start rifling through his pockets. Now, for this is where the wonderful generator comes in. I'm going to click Other Category. Awesome. Val, as you go through his pockets, what you find is, you find 9 rounds of 38 ammo, but no gun.
That's weird. 9 rounds. Got it.
And, Sean, It seems as if he hit a vending machine where he previously was at. So let's roll a vending machine. You find 4 glass bottles that are empty. They clearly chugged down, and it says on there instant green tea. But you find 4 empty glass bottles.
Okay.
So that's what you guys find in his pockets. You don't really run across anything else. There's no caps. You found some ammo, but no gun. You found some empty bottles, but no food, no chems, and no other clothing or survival materials. This guy was either extremely destitute or had dropped his stuff wherever he had been attacked in the past or injured in the past. Don't know, but it's not there.
Well, the bullets are probably pretty expensive, so it's not that weird to have bullets and not a gun, because you could also use that as currency, sort of. It's easier, but then of course I don't know what you're gonna do with them.
Yeah.
Val's just kind of like holding the bullets in his hand and just like shaking them around, just like staring at them and walking around the room, just kind of like pacing, thinking about his own shit.
This is a medical facility, not a chop shop. Why not both? That's a good question, Minsky. Why not both? I think it's because of Taylor.
Jianyu feels bad about having caused such a ruckus in Taylor's shop, so I'm going to go apologize to Taylor, and I'm also going to light one of my sticks of incense in there for the dad.
All right. So yeah, you take out one of the sticks of incense, and go ahead and take off 1 more point of luck for me. Not only do you light up some incense, you find a small bowl that you're able to place it into as well, because otherwise you'd have to stand there holding it. So you find a small bowl, maybe even like an ashtray or something. You find somewhere where you can stick it in and let it burn down. And you head over to Taylor. And you see Taylor just standing there, just kind of dry heaving, like... he seems very sickened by what's gone on.
Sorry about that, Taylor. I mean, we didn't really mean to make quite the mess in there. There's something really wrong with that guy.
Then maybe you shouldn't have brought him into a shop and then chopped his neck open. That was... And he starts vomiting. He actually vomits.
Oh,
As he
glad I
mentioned
lit some
that he
incense.
chopped his neck open.
Sean
yeah,
just sort of
throw it up.
Sean just sort of sarcastically, like, pats Taylor on the back, like, would you rather have him stayed out in the street where your kids could run around in his entrails?
My kids wouldn't be running around in blood rain, unlike that idiot. This guy deserved to die. Who would walk around in that shit? He starts throwing up again. So yeah, he's sick. But for both of you, what I'd like both of you to do is just roll me 1 flat d20.
Is that me and
Yeah, the 2 of you talking to him.
yeah, cool.
Excellent. You were able to successfully kind of convince him to not be so angry at Minsky with your kind words and sarcastic pat, and so Minsky does not lose a rep point with Taylor. So he's like, I guess you're right, but oh my god, just clean it up. Get his body out of here before it starts stinking. That's so disgusting. And he starts like scooping out his puke by hand. Doesn't really have anything to clean it up with. Starts cleaning out his own area and his own mess. It's not like he's got Windex and some paper towels.
I mean, dude, he should spend a luck point, get like a broom.
I don't have
Then
any
your
luck
broom's gonna
points.
stay forever.
You should see the brooms that we have here. Oh my god. The traditional brooms are gone in like a month. It's insane. They literally make them here out of bamboo and straw. So, unless you go out and buy one of the synthetic ones. But yeah, he starts scooping it up. Sure, I'll give him a bamboo and straw, just crappy old broom. Start scooping it out. But yeah, he's like, get that back cleaned up. I'm cleaning this up. This is disgusting. What a horrible day. I didn't think it would end up like this.
Sean will just step out into the street, looking in the direction, sort of down the right street again from the direction that he came from, and attempt to guess maybe from the direction that he came from where he might have come from.
So the direction that he came from the south. Your little area is up the road. Sorry, he came from. Goodness gracious, my brain. He came from the south. Your little area is up north, but you know where that road leads. That road leads down the side of the mountain and then back up north towards Sun Moon Lake, the resort. The only location you know of outside of that area in the immediate area.
Val, should we be concerned?
And Val like juggles the things in his hand. He goes, "Well, I've never been so alarmed or in trouble that I've trekked through blood rain just to get to nowhere. Because this is nowhere. It's not easy to get here. And there's nowhere much to go. So where did he come from? And why was he so adamant? And what the hell was in his neck?" And at this point, Val takes his multi-tool back out and he starts looking at the like black smudge that you said was left on the thing from where the metal thing turned into a liquid. Is that really what happened, or
you pulverized it? When you look at it, what it looks like because I mean he was covered in blood and the slime from the rain and stuff. It looks like a black like tar kind of substance that just got kind of scraped off.
Okay, so it could have been it. Okay, so it could have been like a lot of different things. It wasn't not necessarily like that black smudge isn't necessarily from the thing. It could have just been the combination of everything.
Of all of the viscera and deliciousness in the area as you attempted to yank it out of his jugular. Yes. But it is black. It's not red. It's not this disgusting mixture of the blood rain. It's black. It looks kind of like.
Hey Val, can I take a look at that?
Yeah, sure. And he hands his multi-tool over to Jianyu.
Can I try to like identify it with science or something like that?
Go ahead. Intelligence science. Go for it. Oh wait. Oh yeah, science is a skill. Cool.
Should I burn a AP for a third dice?
You got 3.
I would say yeah.
All right, let's go for 3. All right, so I'm gonna use 1 AP. And normal, I can't see my screen.
Dude, they're so small.
You not only have no idea what this is, but as you're kind of trying to inspect it, using your own means, you seem to be like kind of wiping off some of this stuff from his pliers, and it
Is that a complication 17?
for the difficulty band that you're facing,
Because I can re-roll one with my lab coat.
you can. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah. Let's I guess I just give it with a single dice.
Yep.
I'm gonna re-roll that 17.
Yep.
Dice 1. There.
All right.
That's a better roll.
So
Normal,
you're
my
still
water.
smearing some of it off because you're trying to figure out what the heck it is. You don't really have any tools on hand. But as you're kind of smearing it off, you're looking at it, and it doesn't seem like anything you've ever encountered before. But there still seems to be some of this stuff left over on the pliers. Previously, you had wiped all of it off the pliers. Now there's still some.
Camp, I have a question.
Yes.
When he did the skill check, when you do a skill check like that, and it's a tag skill, does that one success count as 2 successes? Is that what that means?
So Rob just went over this actually today, so I'm going to repeat what he had mentioned. So hold on one second. Blood rain, blood spray, puke. This session is awesome. Yes, it is. So what Rob had explained, because they originally started out doing it correctly, and then they started messing up, is that a tag skill is only a double success if you get your roll underneath that tag skill number. So his science is a tag.
See.
If he had gotten a 3, a 2, or a 1, that would have been a double success.
Got it.
Yeah. And if he had gotten a 1, even on a non-tag skill, that's a critical success. And so for that,
Okay.
that would be a double.
Sick.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
So he rolled underneath the 11, that's 1 success. If he rolled underneath his 3, that would have been 2. And hopefully that helps our viewers as well, because that was something I was very confused about as well. I actually asked Rob about that on a Discord call, because I was very unsure. But yeah, so you have no idea what the hell this stuff is. You have no clue. What it looks like to you is it seems to be like the closest you can compare it to is like a ferrous iron mixed with like oil. And you're not sure if that's from the blood rain or if that's from his blood or if that was some other substance. You're not sure.
It's kind of like a slippery metal, like metal shavings in oil or something.
Yes.
I don't like this thing. This isn't right.
Some sort of experimental ammunition.
Oh. Hadn't thought of that.
He came from the resort. Time was I'd have just gone myself, but I'm not.
The numbers.
Yeah, I'm not as sharp as I was. It lows me to have to ask for help, but I think we should go look into it.
But not
I'll
ask
go.
for it.
Yeah, you could just, All right. Who knows the way?
I know the way.
Okay.
I get y'all up there. I want to know what the heck this thing is.
What about Minsky? Should we bring? I would feel bad taking him from town, but I feel like if we meet another one of these guys, we might be able to help him, or at least figure out what the hell that thing is.
It might be a good idea to keep him away from Taylor for a day or two.
You say that, you look back and Taylor throws up in his throw up. Straight out of Team America.
Imagine he's like sweeping it and he just throws up in front of it and sweeps some more.
Oh, what was that? The meaning of life. There we go. Monty Python, meaning of life.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I'm sure Taylor could use a break. Come on, let's go. We'll take Minsky with us.
Road trip.
Road trip, yay! But yeah, so at this point, let's see. I'm going to. It has been It's been an additional hour. So now it's about 2 o'clock ish in the afternoon. You guys tried dealing with this and trying to get that stuff out, and the question is, are you guys going to clean up the mess behind you or leave that to Taylor?
I'm gonna try and loosen up the brakes on my gurney and at least wheel it out. I don't know about the blood. I don't really. He doesn't have any rags back there.
Okay. So Mensky, you start moving the gurney. You are aware of how to get the wheels going. Camacho had not done that in the past, was unaware, but you loosen them up. You start pushing them out. Let's say there's a back door, so you start pushing them out through the back door. But as he does that, all of you around him, you can see that in the back there's a pile of that blood rain that had been dripping off of him, just in this kind of disgusting puddle, combined with the blood spray that's on the wall and on the curtain that he had up. As who was that? Logar posted into our Discord. It looks kind of like somebody had that blood cannon and just went.
Val is going to turn to Camacho and say, well, I really don't clean, so why don't we pull our caps and get the children to do it?
Niñas, get to work.
Yeah. And so he is going to give each of them 2 caps. There's 2 kids, right?
There's 3.
Touch the stuff, just sweep it up in a pan or something and throw it outside.
Well, it is inert now with that milk.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. There's also that off yellow milk mixed in with all of that bottling on the ground.
That makes it safe though.
I'm just imagining this situation of just the coloring of this room.
Poor Taylor.
There's a metallic album cover that would look like that.
We'll get the 14-year-olds to handle this.
That fits perfectly with narrative, and because here in Taiwan, they actually took a lesson from Japan. Children have to clean their own schools, and so if they're working in a shop, they have to clean the shop. Val, you give them a couple of caps, and you kind of look over at them. They look up at you, and just with this face of just sheer and utter revulsion of like, why?
Well,
and,
everybody's got to grow up sometime.
It's your turn now. And Camacho, you see the youngest one, who's about 12 years old, just kind of look over at you, just with this face of like, what have you done to me? Like, about to cry. And she's just looking up at you like, why?
Yeah. Niña, it'll be fine. Just vámonos.
Cheer up. A little bit of elbow grease made me the man I am today. Come on.
It'll be done. And then I offer more caps.
So you say elbow grease, and she just kind of looks at her elbow, and she's like, "What grease?"
Exactly. Get to it.
All right. So the kiddos start pleading. Val, go ahead and take a. Let's see. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna make you pay all 6. I'm gonna take out a D6 real quick, and I left all of them at school. Crap. Let's roll it on roll 20. 5 caps. Pay 5 caps, and the 3 kids will take care of the mess.
Okay.
How broke are you now?
I have 5 caps left, but I've also got 9 bullets, which are like might as well be gold.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. They're the worst kind of bullets. Damn it. They're the rarity. They're the 1 cap bullets.
The rarity 0 ones. But yeah, so they start cleaning. You can see that they themselves have also pulled out like little pans and stuff, and they're trying to clean up all this mess. But all four of you kind of exit that building, so I don't have to give a description of what's going on. But Minsky has taken the body through the back door, and out in the back, you can see it kind of slopes down a little bit over towards the side of the forest itself. This kind of somewhat alive, somewhat dead forest. It always still expands, even if it doesn't look lush green. But it makes its way. You head out through that back, and you can see that there's like a little walking path in the back, and you could bring it one direction and take it out of town, or you could bring it the other direction and take it to where they've buried their dead in the past. It's your choice.
Take it to the normal burial spot.
All right, so yeah, you start pushing the gurney that way. The rest of you, in the meantime, are convincing the children to do this disgusting task. And Gianni, what are you doing while they're talking to the kids and Minsky's pushing the body?
I'm going to snag up that incense bowl, because I'll use that again later. And I'm going to go out and get Dynamo ready. It sounds like we're probably going to be going somewhere. I don't know if we're going to leave this afternoon or not. How long does it take to get up to the resort?
That is a really good question. Give me a second, because I can actually Google the specific distance. So give me one moment.
Does MapQuest work there?
I don't think Google Maps would. Maybe MapQuest. That's super old school. God, I haven't. Does MapQuest even exist anymore? Is it still around?
Yes, it does. Because my father refuses to, still prints out directions. And I'm like, you have an iPhone! What are you doing?
Wow. Okay. You know, whatever works for him. I remember, yeah, I had a couple of friends that lived in Indiana, and their parents refused to use GPSs. They would always print out the instructions from MapQuest. All right, so we are going to be traveling from, what is that, Tusha Reservoir down to Sun Moon Lake. So you know, to get to the scenic area, that will, second, 2 hour scenic area. That'll take you about 2 hours walking. You know a path to get there. So that would get you to the scenic area, but to get you in towards the town proper, that's going to take quite a bit longer. So the old dam that you know about, that's outside of the city limits. It's not the one that we've discussed in the past. This is just another small dam outside of the town. To get to that location, back 2 directions. So hold on 1 second. My Google Maps is giving me crap. There we go. Oh my gosh. What the heck? So that'll take you. So it'll take you about 2 hours to get down to the scenic area. It'll take you about 4 hours to get down to the dam, which is on the outskirts of the main town. It'll take you about 5 hours to get into town itself, which is going to leave you guys around 7:00 p.m.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Once everybody's done inside, I'm just gonna head out and like get Dynamo ready, regardless of what we're doing, because I'm not gonna hang out here at Taylor's for after this. And then once everybody kind of comes out of there, I'll tell them about how long it's going to take us to get, up there.
We don't want to get caught there overnight.
Today and strike out in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Probably like dawn morning.
Yep.
Because the last thing we want to do is get there at 7 p.m.
Assemble on the main road at sunup, no later. Any questions?
Plan.
Sounds good to me.
Well, what's our main objective? Just the whole. We're gonna go here and try to figure out if we can figure out where this guy came from.
Information.
Is that
gathering.
basically the plan?
I don't know. That's what.
Figure
what
out
are you
where the
guys doing?
thing. Figure out where the thing in his neck came from.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What is it?
See,
Where'd it come from?
a lot of dead guys, not a lot of liquid metal. All right.
It's like that old
First
movie.
thing in the morning.
You think about it, it's like that old movie you've seen before, but instead of being silver, it's this black substance. At least
Trying to
it's
come up
not.
with a
Hmm?
trying to come up with a funny name for it in my head, and I can't get there.
The exterminator.
I'll say the only thing I've got is the atomic terminator.
The atomic exterminator, maybe, I don't know. Oh.
The atominator.
The Atominator works, yeah. So the old movie, the Atominator series, there was 45 of them that were released, and
Only the first two
you
really
only
good.
liked. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you only really liked the first 15. I mean,
At some point where the one where he goes and saves the moon. Did we really need the moon? It would have been fine. No one should be back after hiatus for some meal. I'm sick with my channel, right? Yeah, so I think that's a decent plan.
okay. So yeah, you guys are planning on heading out in the morning. Minsky, while all of them are doing this, they're prepping, they're talking. You're out there. You get the body out to the graveyard area, and you kind of just. What do you do? I don't want to
There's
narrate
no
it for
point.
you.
No point trying to lift him with any sort of grace all by myself, so I just kind of lift the gurney up a little bit and kind
Okay.
of let him slide off.
Yep, you lift up the
Just
front end of the
gently.
gurney and just and falls down onto the ground. Yeah, so I'll send this to you guys later specifically. So I know exactly where your shop is, literally by staring at it right now on MapQuest. Not on MapQuest, sorry, Google Maps. You got MapQuest stuck in my head. Google Maps. But so the place that they're always burying these bodies is the old campground. There used to be an old campground there, and that's where they're always burying the dead, because slowly but surely the number is gradually rising. There's still about 100 people left, but population here used to be in the thousands. And yeah, you drop off the body and start heading back. When you get back, you see standing there packing everything up on top of his Brahmin. You see Jianyu. He seems to be getting ready. But you were not there for any of the conversation earlier except for a road trip, and then you grabbed the body and started going.
So, what's the plan?
We're gonna head up to the resort and see if we can figure out what happened. See if we can find out what's going on with this weird metal thing and where this guy came from. You want to join us?
Sure. I sense
All right.
Taylor is set with me.
Yeah. We're gonna meet at dawn at the main road out.
I think you broke Logar for a second there. All right. Well, yeah. So this is a chance, everybody, for us to take a wonderful little look at our survival mechanics. Do any of you have food in your inventory?
Oh, it's a good question.
Yes.
Well, you're a robot. You don't need food. You're good.
I have a survival kit, which is part of the.
So the survival kit has like utensils that can help you, but the survival kit does not contain named objects from the manual.
Correct. Yeah. So no. I guess.
Okay, so no. Sean, do you have any food?
No. Shion, you carrying any?
I got some tar berries. I'm not going to go very far between a lot of us.
Well, Camacho's got food. Camacho's taken care of.
Seeing
So-
it doesn't have any food, Sean would probably just doesn't want to head anywhere too dangerous, but just out to forage, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So that's what I was gonna say is that you guys have a couple of different options right now. Number one, if any of our audience members are interested in taking a look at the settlement expansion that I put out, the perchance, you can use that. Or you can go on to the wasteland generator, and there is an option there for foraging and for going to shops. So if you folks want, you could try to buy your meal for the night, or you could try to forage for your meal for the night. What would you like to do? Sean, you
I
said you want to
think-
forage? Yeah?
I'm down with foraging.
Yeah, I've got 5 caps, so I'm going to forage.
Okay.
I'll forage. Just to give a hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the best bet. I mean, I know we just decided that we were going to leave to this place in the morning, but there also is the standing radroach bounty.
Mm.
Maybe,
Grilled
So
Right.
pop a
radroach.
couple rad roaches before we go.
yeah, eat dinner, take the heads, trade them in. Cap, I don't know if that's really a thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's Val's suggestion to the food situation.
So you
Alright.
guys are going to go forage then. So what I need you guys to do, we're going to go this one by one because each person actually has a chance to forage. So Sean, go ahead and roll first. And then I'm going to have Camacho go next, and then Val, and then Gian.
What am I rolling?
You are going to, oh, sorry about that. You're going to roll perception plus survival for foraging.
Alright.
You do not find any usable food while you are foraging. Yeah, you're unable to find anything that really looks all that edible to you. After that acid rain, or sorry, the blood rain, it all just looks kind of disgusting to your palate. Camacho,
Okay, action points.
you can use action point if you'd like.
Does
We
anyone
also-
object to me using it?
Still have plus
Well-
2s in the chat that nobody's asked about, or sorry, minus 2s in the chat that nobody's asked about.
So if I remember correctly, with foraging, we can also use action points to find more food
Yes.
if somebody finds some. So it might be better to bank on the fact that out of like all this rolling, that somebody's going to get at least one success, and then we can dump our action points into more food.
Yeah, good idea.
So hold off on using an action point.
Okay.
The-
Do you want to use any of the minus 2s?
I'll use a -2.
Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Nice.
So that is 3 successes, and your survival skill is 3. So what happens with this is that you get your maximum based on your survival skill because of your successes. So you find 3 silt beans, SILT, silt beans, and you can use a action point in order to get another one.
Anyone object?
No, go for it. You just generated some, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and use an action point.
All right. Yep. So you use the one that you just generated, so you're all good on that. Next up is Val.
Can I use a luck point to introduce a lucky factor detail?
Yes. What's the lucky factor or detail?
I would like to stumble upon a radroach.
That's fine. Yeah. So as you are looking around, you just kind of look around and you see that there is a radroach in the area as you were about to go find some food. So this radroach on our screen on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Val, your character is which one? Is it the one without a portrait?
Nope, I'm the little cat.
You're the little cat. Okay, so the
Oh,
little
you're the
cat.
cat.
Yeah, the little cat's going to be the center. Everybody else select a location or a quadrant in relation to the cat. Are you all just grouping up right near him? Or are you a little bit further away searching around? So take your thingy and place it in a space or a quadrant at whichever distance you want to use.
The hunting rifle is a range of medium, so I would like, if I could, possibly discover it at the perfect range. Is that a thing?
Well, you said you wanted to introduce one. I'm going to be dropping one, so
Okay.
I actually am going to roll to where it's located. So that's why I was asking everybody to pick a space.
Let the dice decide. I see.
Yes.
Like a role playing game.
Like a role-playing game, yeah.
Crazy.
Absolute madman up in here. Ooh, whoever this Gabriel Pickard is, I love your cockroach. That's wonderful. Can I use it? That is a premium asset. Never mind. Never mind, Gabriel. Too costly for poor little old me. Let me try to find something else really quick. From the web. Goodness gracious. I'm just gonna drop a token because I don't seem to be able to find anything. I will have to get in some wonderful little tokens at a later time. So my apologies, everybody. I'm gonna be kind of lame. I'm gonna drop in one of my caps, but first I'm gonna roll for the location. All right, and our distance. Okay, so the roach is right up here. So it is at a long distance. You see it from a long distance away, and it is northeast of you. So this is where our roach is located. Okay, now our initiative, I have it listed on there. Our initiative is based off of two things. Initiative is based off of your perception and your agility. If you have any extra equipment or bonuses, it will also apply. So add your perception, add your agility. And I'm going to ask you guys, what is your perception, what is your agility? Because you're all in the area. Unless Minsky did not want to go out foraging with everybody else.
No, he probably would. I might be looking for like a little piece of fruit I can bring back to the trading post.
I'm sorry, Taylor. Here you go. Enjoy a roach head. All right. So, I actually don't know the numbers on here, so let's go through this one by one. Sean, what is your agility plus your perception?
14.
Damn. Okay. All right. Camacho.
12.
12.
12.
Oh, 12. Okay. Minsky.
12.
Okay. Val.
15.
Holy shit. Okay. And Jianyu.
12.
So let's see who is on here. Jianyu, it looks like. Let's do select move. So who is this one right here?
I believe that's
that's Minsky.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So Minsky, first is going to be Val, then it's going to be Minsky because you are the next closest. The one after that is going to be, or sorry, it's going to be Val, then Sean, then it's going to be Minsky, and finally we're going to have Jianyu and then Camacho. Now, really quick, I'm going to write that on here so that we can use that in our notes, because that is a super helpful thing right here. Okay, so initiative. No. There we go. What is going on? Okay, cool. Initiative first coming up is going to be, so it's going to be Val, then Sean, then we're going to have Minsky, then it's going to be Jianyu, then Camacho. All right, so that is all listed up on there. Val, you are going to go first. So what are you doing?
Okay. I think the best thing. So, how far away does that count as?
That's going to be long range.
So, if I move one to like here, would that put me in medium range?
Yes.
Okay. Then that's what I would like to do. I would like to use the minor action to move up to one zone.
Perfect.
And then for a major action, I am going to attack with my rifle.
Okay.
I'm going to aim for its chest.
Okay, so you're going to use.
I have the center mass perk, which
Okay.
when I make a ranged attack, you may choose the torso without increasing the difficulty of the attack. In addition, I can re-roll 1d20 when making the test.
All right, and you have the hunting rifle, right?
Yeah.
All right. So at your distance, let me find this in my wonderful little GM kit. At your distance, you are going to have a. Oh, that's just for the weapon. That's not for the enemies. Let me pull up my red. Because I have my PDF already pulled up to a completely different location. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. There's so many different things on here. My goodness, I absolutely love the PDF, but it takes my computer forever to scroll through it. All right, so to hit, let's see. So it's going to be a difficulty of 1. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll for your ranged attack, and it's going to be DB1.
So can I re-roll the second one?
You can re-roll the. Well, you already got a success.
Right. But if I get 2 successes, won't we get an AP?
You have 3 successes. Oh wait, hold on. Oh my goodness, I still saw Camacho's. My goodness. So on there, my bad. So you have 1 success. Yes, you can re-roll the second. Go ahead.
Okay. 1 dice. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I hit it.
Yeah, you shoot it. You hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage. Holy fuck!
Nice.
2,
5
4, 5 plus effect. Does your weapon have any effects?
Yeah, it has piercing 1.
Piercing 1. Okay, so that'll take 1 of the defense down. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, so you see this roach, and here in Taiwan, so a small rad roach is about this big. You find a normal sized rad roach, which is decent sized, like medium sized dog. You see this thing skittering around, eating, and you fire into its center mass, and you wreck its shit. You put a round straight through it. It's still standing, but you put a round straight through it. And you can hear it. You can hear it squealing, and it starts skittering a little bit. Our next up is going to be Sean. Sean, you hear his hunting rifle go off, and a round goes through this thing. What are you going to do?
I'll move to close range.
Okay.
Oh, is that one minor action or two?
So you can, because you're right here. You can go like up to where he is at and go into this space. That's fine. That'll be one minor action. If you move two zones, that's a major action.
That's fine. Am I in close range if I get to there? Yeah.
You're in close range there, yes, but you've now used a
That's
major action.
Can spend an AP to make another major action and attack, and I do not get the increased difficulty on the second major action because I have the Action Boy perk.
All right. So give me 1 second. Come over here. All right, you guys are now down to 1 AP left as a collective. Yeah. So you can make an attack from close range. What are you doing?
Just draws the suppressed pistol and fires. I think it's got a rate of fire of 2, isn't it? I'll fire once and see if it dies, and then I'll do my second shot if it doesn't.
All right. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Rate of fire is not like taking 2 rolls to attack. It's adding extra damage by spending ammo.
Yeah. Oh, with
Gotcha.
ammo, right? Not AP. With ammo. Yeah.
With ammo. Yeah, because it's ranged attack, not a melee.
Yeah. So
Understood.
you got a critical failure.
Good.
So you had just recently been opening up and cleaning off your gun and trying to make it all nice and pretty. Your gun itself, the receiver completely jams up on the round. The round gets stuck, and your gun is jammed. You're gonna have to use a major action because that was a 20. You're not getting injured, but you'll have to use a major action to unjam it because it's a very serious issue with the gun.
Wonderful.
Chucky 305 redeemed. Player delivers critical injury.
All right, so that's going to be on the next successful attack.
Okay.
The exits are north, south, and gun. Oh, and my girlfriend. I've been totally ignoring chat. I'm so sorry. My girlfriend redeemed a +2, so I can add a +2 on one of you guys. Woo! All right. So Sean, you've used your major action. You've used your Action Boy perk and an AP. Your gun is jammed. You're super close now.
That's fine. Where's the?
Where's the?
No. I was just looking at the action list on our handy splat screen there.
Yeah, there's not enough space to include everything, but what I'll do next time around is I'll make the text even smaller, because this is huge. You can zoom in, and it's still pretty damn clear. I'll make the text even smaller and try to fit in some more info for you guys.
No, never mind. There's nothing I can do in that, so just leave it.
Right, so, Minsky, you're up next. Minsky, what are you doing? What you doing?
He's going to slowly start drifting over to the roach. Nope, still in pan mode.
Okay. So yeah, you can move up to the next zone, and you'll be in medium distance.
I don't think I want to spend an AP. I think he'll just take a defensive stance from there.
Okay. For that, there's actually a thing for defend. You can do agility plus athletics, and it'll increase your DR +1. Just requires 1 success. All right. You take a defensive stance by flailing your arms around, thinking it's going to distract the rad roach. All right. Our next up is Jianyu. Jianyu, what are you doing?
this next band in, that's close range
That would be
to
close
the
range. Yeah.
rush?
Yep.
Can I move over here as a minor action?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to move over to close range. And for my major action, can I actually... I mean, this thing has a giant hole in it already.
Yes.
Can I pick up a handy rock and chuck it?
Yes, you can.
It's on the table. It's called
It
a handy
is.
rock.
It is. It is on. Oh my God. Where was it? Because it's a melee, right?
Page
Yeah,
111.
Handy rock. Yeah.
It's thrown close range.
Yep.
It can be thrown. So
And it's vicious.
I'm gonna go for a throwing check and see if I can peg it with a rock.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna suck at it, but you know.
I'm gonna chuck a rock at it. No, so you pick up a rock and you whip the rock over, and just to be extra cool, it goes through the hole.
I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Quite a shot.
Very
2
cool.
points.
Very cool.
2 points. 2 points.
Yeah.
Or is
Nothing
that
but
a
that.
3-pointer? No, you're close range. It's 2-pointer. All right. So, Gian, you've used your major and your minor. Camacho. You are actually already in this distance band, so you could come over if you wanted to, over here, and that's not even an action. You can go into close distance band. That would be an action.
One close distance.
Okay. And what I'm actually going to do right now, hold on 1 second, folks. I'm going to... That should help visualize a little bit better. Is that a little clearer for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, you are right up on it. Close distance. What are you doing?
Try to lop its head off with my machete.
I was going to say you better say machete. Yes. All right. Go for it. Roll for your melee.
We have no action points, right?
We have 1 action point left.
Okay. We have any,
I was going to say,
minus-
we have -2s, but the next one is yours.
Oh, okay.
Yarp.
Sorry, I'll just roll. I'll just roll with my 2 dice.
Okay. All right, you've got a success, and because of Chuggy, woo, Chuggy! Yeah, we got a hole in 1. Good old rock, nothing beats rock. So we've got a hole in 1, and now we've got a successful melee attack. And it's a critical to boot because of Chuggy. So thank you very much, Chuggy, for that crit. So that means that you're going to have both of your damage dice, so 2d6, and you will get your vicious.
Okay, so do damage with the machete.
Yep, roll your damage. And let me figure out what the hell vicious does.
This just means you get an extra damage on effects. So effects do 2 damage instead of 1.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
Yes. You rolled your attack again. You need to roll your damage.
Hold on. Okay, I got it.
Hot damn. All right. So you've got 2 damage plus 1 damage in effect. So that's another 2 damage, 4 damage. Yeah, you walk up and your machete goes straight through this thing's carapace, right into its head, and its head comes tumbling off. The fun part about this is that it is a cockroach. It's still standing. And all of you standing there hear it continue to hiss out of its neck hole as it jumps at... Let's find out who. As it jumps at Camacho. So Camacho, what is your DR?
Where do I find that?
It should be your armor. What's your armor?
Leather armor, so
It depends on where she gets hit.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, you're right. Yeah, because the damage resistance is different based on areas, right? Okay. All right. So it goes for you, and it tries scratching you with its little barbed arms and things because you've cut off its head. It tries scratching you instead. And let's see. That's going to be a really shit-ass target number. And fail, and fail. It tries getting up on your business and scratching you, but the only thing it seems to do is like chug out gore onto you as it tries scratching at you. It looks to be doing the exact same that Minsky was doing. Arms flailing about. And as that happens, it continues doing that for a couple of seconds, and then finally this thing, after coughing up a bunch of this innards, finally just kind of slows down and then freezes and stops and falls down to the ground dead. So that is a little extra part of the homebrew I have not put out yet. Is that rad roaches in this game have one additional major action that they can take after death. So yeah, woo!
Seems terrifying. Great, love it.
Yeah. So you've successfully killed a rad roach at the expense of 2 bullet shells, a jammed pistol, a failed rock throw, and arm jiggling. Or sorry, not a failed rock throw. My bad. It was in fact a hole-in-one.
In fact, a perfect rock throw.
Yes, a perfect
yes.
rock throw.
Quite skilled.
So yeah, you guys have successfully killed your first enemy, a rad roach. Yay!
Dude.
I hold up my arm and I clean off my machete with my sleeve.
Yep. Yeah, you clean off your machete. You're probably gonna need to check your personage because you're kind of covered in some grossness. And Sean, you have a chance right now to fix up your gun. Do you want to use a major action to unjam it?
Certainly, yeah. You just see Sean sort of fussing with it.
Yeah, you're eventually able to get the slide back far enough to unjam the round. It looks like the round was damaged, so it still expended 1 ammo, but your gun is now unjammed. And you have 4 silt beans from Camacho, and you all now have a chance to butcher some rad roach. You wanna do some butchering?
Make some
Let's
steaks.
do it.
All right. So for a butchering on a rad roach, scavengers can butcher a dead rad roach with a successful endurance plus survival test, DR 0. So who would like to do our butchery? Endurance plus survival.
Whoever's got the best. Anybody have survival as a tag skill? Then you should probably do it.
All right.
Because all we're gonna do is get a. Yeah.
Now you gotta get it dirty again.
Right. I don't know why you did that. Because
You're the one who's gotta clean this up.
Ma'am, if you will.
Right. So yeah, go ahead and roll endurance plus survival.
1 second.
No worries.
Give me a second. I'm having difficulty.
It's all good. I was checking our comments to make sure that I was actually able to see what's been going on in our chat. We're mostly quiet, but we got a lot of little things in there for our additions, so it's pretty nice. Is that a critical? It is a critical. So you are able to successfully butcher your rad roach. You have a portion of rad roach meat now, and on top of that, as you are cutting it open and getting the usable, viable meat off of it, you also pull out a plastic bottle out of its innards. You pull a plastic bottle out, and it is labeled on there, sloppily written, water. And on the inside, you can see this brackish water. You can add one dirty water to your inventory. And one rat roach meat.
That's some seriously dirty water.
That is absolutely absurd.
It ate the bottle whole. I told you these rat roaches are the size of like medium-sized dogs. These things are big. So yeah, it had a plastic water bottle inside of it, just like we find in fish all the time. It's nature's way of recycling.
Hoovers.
That's not what's happening.
That is totally what's happening.
Well, we're recycling it. I mean, it comes out of the rad roach. Now we get to use it
Exactly, and it's a delicious, dirty water
with rad roach flavor.
Yes.
So
Well, it's a sealed plastic bottle, or semi-sealed. I mean, the cap was on, but it's
closed.
You have to use some water to clean it off in order to drink from it, or it's gonna taste like rad roach.
I gotcha. Yeah, exactly.
Or Brahmin milk.
Or Brahmin milk. Everybody loves that nice off yellow color, and the smell that you associate psychologically with an off yellow color.
Ramen cheese and ramen butter.
Yep, just like the bubble milk tea here in Taiwan for Fallout Asia. Just don't ask how it's made. How exactly do you
how
know
much?
the Brahmin? Don't ask.
Well, I mean, it's got nipples, so it's fine.
That's what you think. See, that's nature kicking back at you.
Buddy, come on. How much sustenance is one unit of rad roach meat?
Permitious dude says, "This is the new water cycle now." It would have been even better if it was a bottle of purified water that you pulled out, like still sealed, like Evian water, and you yank it out. It's like, oh, nature's healing. Just down it.
I can't wait to find a rad roach nest and bust it open so all those delicious fresh bottles of water pour out.
I think this is going to be canon now. So from this point on, if we get a critical success, because for that what I did is I rolled on the loot table, I'll just roll a beverage. So yeah, there you go. There's your extra butchery. If you get a critical success, I'll let you get a beverage.
He was thirsty.
Yeah, because this is the water cycle now. So for rad roach meat, I'm pulling that up right now. Rad roach meat. That's going to take 10 minutes to find because my computer is slow. And now my book is full. Previous. Let's go to our food table.
151.
I was literally right there too. Nice. So rad roach meat on here. What's going to happen is that it'll be 4 HP. So if the 4 of you split it, each of you will receive 1 HP, and you'll be satiated for the game.
I think the satiated part is more important.
According
problem with raw meat is there's a risk of disease.
Yes, all of you will have to roll for both disease and radiation. So you can try cooking it.
Yeah, can't we cook it? I mean, we're literally right outside of where we all live.
Yeah.
I was just looking at that, and it takes 3 rad roach meat to make 1 grilled rad roach.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
well,
you got some raw rat roach meat, you got some veggies, and you got a nice bottle of water.
Well, maybe we can make a stew.
You guys can divvy it between the 3 of you.
You've lost your appetite.
No, I've got food. I already had food, and
Okay.
I was just helping out.
All right. So
Yeah.
you guys can try raw dogging it.
Well, I haven't foraged yet. I can see if I can find something else to go with it.
We can hold the
Okay.
meat under Minsky.
It'll still just be rad roach meat. I'm sorry to say, I wish it worked that easy. But yeah, you can forage. Go ahead and roll perception survival.
Cat moves so you can see. No,
ooh,
that's a crit fail.
As you are stumbling around, you trip over and stumble into the rad roach meat. And so part of the rad roach meat is now connected to the bottom of your boot.
oh well, that was your share.
Oops.
So
Well, damn.
if you guys want, instead of it being worth 4, it'll now be worth 3. The 3 of you
Enough for
can still
one.
split it up. Unless you're really
Yeah, I mean, it's
denying
more
it.
about eating something than it is regaining HP.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, like, if it's going to be worth 0 HP, then it's not going to sustain. So it's still worth 3. Yeah. So
All right,
the
well,
3 of you
okay.
can eat the raw rat roach meat that has been so graciously provided to you.
Minsky still hasn't taken a poke around.
Minsky can totally do that. Perception survival. Go ahead and roll. And don't crit fail. Unless you want your companions to start starving. All right, we've got 1 success. What is your survival? Your survival is a 0, so that means that you will receive a single item. You find 1 cassava root.
So we made a joke about it, but it might be a good idea. Can we make a stew with the water and the silt bean and the root and the rad roach meat?
Nope.
Okay.
I wish. So the requirement for was it vegetable stew? Give me 1 second. So veggie stew requires carrot, dirty water, potato.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys want, you could make it, but it will only be worth 2 food. It'll heal the HP, but it'll only be worth 2 food.
I'm not exactly sure what the best play is because we don't even leave till tomorrow morning, so maybe we shouldn't even eat it till tomorrow.
You would receive an extra fatigue then for starving. So you'd start out your morning fatigue.
Right.
Well, find another couple of rad roaches and then make the steak. The grilled.
Totally up to you guys. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, is there a way we can specifically hunt rad roaches? Because I used a luck point to introduce that one, but maybe we can try to find more of them based on where that one was.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could ask Taylor if he had a specific nest in mind with his advertisement.
Yeah.
Well, he just wanted cockroaches dead. Just wanted red roaches dead because they're everywhere.
Find another two,
So that's why I'm saying
Claim
you
the-
can totally go after more.
Yeah. claim the caps, and get the meat for the meal at the same time.
Well, I'm just wondering if Taylor's seen any radroach, nests or whatever.
They're just everywhere. Yeah.
All right.
There's more.
If that's the case, then this is where I will end our session, because this is going to take several more rounds of combat, and it's almost 11 o'clock for me. I need to start getting ready for dinner, and I know at least all of you need to go to bed. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with us. Very, very happy to have so many people here, and even folks contributing in chat, dropping in some wonderful little jokes there. As well as like the Book of Water. This is the new water cycle. Paper dough. Yes. Thank you guys for coming on it. I'm very, very happy to say that this is our session 1 for Fallout 2D20. We've got a wonderful, wonderful group here. Combat is much faster than I actually anticipated, which is fun. And the skill checks are quite interesting. So I'm very much so looking forward to our next game. Now, I have one quick announcement before we do our sign-outs, just to give everybody in our audience a heads up. We are going to be missing a couple of sessions over the next month or so, and I believe one of them is, it is this upcoming weekend. This upcoming weekend is Thanksgiving weekend. And a lot of folks are either unavailable or weren't sure if they're going to make it. So both this stream and the Cyberpunk Goes Nomad, both of them will be on hiatus for this upcoming week. But we will be on for the following month. So this week, session 1, 2 weeks, session 2, and then the following, session 3. So I just wanted to give everybody out there a heads up about that. So yes, thank you everybody for joining. I'm gonna give us our links and stuff for our sign-outs. So Stinkpalm, go ahead and start us off, and then we'll work our way up.
So I'm Tracy. You can find me at Stinkpalm on Twitter, Twitch, Discord. And yeah, it was a great session. It was fun, and we learned all about the water cycle. So yeah.
You guys are gonna break me, Jesus. Yes, definitely a very solid session, and yeah, we're learning about the environment, the ecosystem. The world is healing. Logar, go ahead. You are up next.
Hey, I was Logar the Ogre. Thank you for watching. If you like, please check out my channel for Sunday Night Starfinder, Dead Sundays. That's all I got.
Awesome. Next up is going to be Johnny.
Yeah, you can find me over on the Cybernation Uncensored Discord as Johnny Drop. And you can catch me here every Friday as Minsky, your little nurse handy bot, and every Saturday in our Cyberpunk Goes Nomad campaign. And you can also, if you want to, check out my SoundCloud at Arcson.
Awesome. Thank you. Camacho? Or sorry,
Hey everyone.
Raven.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our first episode. And you can catch me here every Friday for Fallout Asia, and every Saturday for Cyberpunk Goes Nomad on Cyber Nation Uncensored. You can find me all over the internet at Doña Trece Cuervo. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, you can.
Mark.
No, you're right. You're right. You can find me here 2 weeks' time, and tomorrow night on the Nomad game, as a very different character than I played this evening, like a bit of variety. And you can find me over on twitch.tv/Heroes in Theory on Sundays, where I play a magical con man, and that's fun. No, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for joining us, everyone, as we blundered through a fight with what is essentially a pest.
Hey, nobody got hurt. I've heard several instances from other GMs literally saying that their groups got their asses handed to them by rat roaches, and none of you got injured. Which is I was worried. I was like, oh shit, how is this gonna go? But yeah, you guys wrecked that thing. So good job. So yeah, you guys kicked the ass of a pest. You guys learned a little bit about our world. You guys are now a little bit more interested in what's going on in the town, as well as very confused by what the hell was in that guy's neck. But yeah, we're gonna see about all of that as time goes on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been GM Capricious Nature, or just Capricious Nature. All of my links are on there. I'm not going to go through them again, but I want to give a special thank you to Bass Ape Records for the awesome music tonight, as well as to 1,000 Reasons for the awesome tracks as well. So thank you guys. Thank you to everybody in the audience. Thank you to Rob for bringing this all together. And have a happy Thanksgiving. Adios.
Stagnation Uncensored.